I raise dinosaurs in the apocalypse. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 326. The Third Eye. Inside the bank 1 kilometer away, when Zuba advised Lin Kong to run quickly, the pink-clothed cannon man finally obtained the source of the danger through the water of the future. It's that woman named Shenzhou. She is very dangerous. The pink-clothed cannon man pointed at Shenzhou's body in the water mirror and said with a serious expression. The coquettish woman couldn't help but be very surprised. Husband Tilda, isn't this woman dead? Her head was blown up by Lin Kong's punch, and she can't even become a zombie. Why do you still think this woman is dangerous? The pink-clothed cannon man shook his head and said seriously, I don't know the specific reason. Anyway, Water of the Future told me that this woman is very dangerous and asked me to run quickly. The farther away from that woman the better. As he said, the pink-clothed cannon man was already packing up. The three of them didn't have anything important, except for some food, and a camera specifically responsible for recording Lin Kong. In less than 10 seconds, the pink-clothed cannon man trio had packed up everything. Although the coquettish woman was very confused about what kind of danger the corpse would bring, she did not ask any more questions. She only knew that the prediction of Water of the Future was very accurate and saved the lives of the three people many times. If it were not for the prediction of Water of the Future, the three of them would have died long ago. The terrible danger suddenly came, and the three pink-clad cannon men had no time to solve the doubts in their hearts. They got on the motorcycle and decisively ran away in the opposite direction of Shenzhou. As for the task of observing Lin Kong, the three pink-clad cannon men also directly terminated it. Compared with the safety of the president, the lives of the three of them were more important. As for the corpse of the evil-looking bald man, they could only wait until they were out of danger before going back to destroy the corpse. When the three pink-clad cannon men hurriedly ran away, Lin Kong, who was at the door of the hotel, did not notice the future danger. He stepped on the sole of the green-haired young man's foot, and suddenly exerted force, directly crushing the latter's head. The green-haired youth thought he could live longer, and he thought Lin Kong had suddenly shown a kind heart, but he did not expect that his death would come so suddenly. After Lin Kong stepped on the green-haired youth to death, he looked at Zuba with a calm look and asked, what will happen if I don't run away? Zuba looked at Shenzhou's body with its head exploded on the ground, then looked at Lin Kong, smiled bitterly and said, actually, I was wrong just now. From the moment you killed Shenzhou, you couldn't escape even if you wanted to. You have been locked in. You can't escape at all. Lin Kong listened to the confusing words of the scarred face and said impatiently, what do you mean by locked in? What do you mean by unable to escape? I don't know what you want to express. Really? Hey, can you speak some human language? Although he showed an impatient expression on the surface, Lin Kong's intuition told him that something unusual seemed to happen later. However, Lin Kong, like the pink-clad cannon man who escaped, had no idea what would happen. Tilda, the forest pterosaur wiped the blood off the green-haired young man and flew back into Lin Kong's sleeve. She thought Lin Kong had an uneasy thought. Obviously, even the forest pterosaur had faintly sensed something unusual. However, Lin Kong did not know the specific situation of the danger, so it was naturally impossible for him to run around with everyone. What if he ran away randomly and fell into the enemy's trap? In short, all Lin Kong could do now was to be fully alert to the surrounding situation and not let down his guard. Zuba put the samurai sword in his hand back into the scabbard with a swish. It seemed that he was not going to fight Lin Kong. He still did not answer Lin Kong's question directly, but instead brought up another topic. Do you know why my level has risen so quickly? Why? Lin Kong was also quite curious about Zuba's level. When he met Zuba a few days ago, Zuba was still guarding the door at the gathering place in the county. At that time, he was still a new human of level 1. However, only a few days had passed. Zuba soared to the height of level 4 like a rocket. If Zuba had the strength of level 4 when he was in the county gathering place, he could have defeated the zombie army led by Zhuge Shi, alone. Read the original text in Liu number 9 / Under normal circumstances, it would take Zuba at least several years to reach level 4. Therefore, not only Lin Kong was curious, but also Wu Fei, Zi Wang and others were very curious. Zi Wang had already used his perspective eyes to see Zuba's danshan, and there were exactly 4 spiritual beads in it. This shows that Zuba does have the strength of a new human of level 4. Everyone pricked up their ears, waiting for Zuba's answer. However, Zuba's answer was a bit horrifying. A bitter smile appeared on his face. He stretched out his hand, gently brushed away the hair on his forehead, and slowly answered, "The reason why I leveled up quickly is because I was controlled by zombies." After saying that, a thin crack suddenly appeared on Zuba's forehead with a pop sound. Then, in the horrified eyes of the crowd, the thin crack was pulled to both sides, revealing an eye. Old Scar, you, how come you have 3 eyes? Is your superpower the 3 eyes of Erlang Shen? Wu Fei, who was at the corner of the street, saw the 3rd eye exposed on Zuba's forehead and couldn't help asking from a distance. Indeed, the appearance of Zuba's 3 eyes at this moment was very similar to the appearance of Erlang Shen Yangjian in the myth. Everyone talked about it. There were surprises, curiosity, and fear among the crowd. But among the crowd, Zi Wang's expression was the most solemn. When Zuba said some inexplicable words, Zi Wang had already observed Zuba's head with his perspective eyes. Previously, Zi Wang had not discovered that there was a 3rd eye hidden inside Zuba's forehead. If there was a 3rd eye, his perspective eyes would definitely find it. So, a question arose. Zuba clearly had a 3rd eye on his forehead, but why didn't my perspective eyes find it? Did he use some method to block my perspective eyes? After thinking hard for a while, Zi Wang immediately thought of a terrible possibility, and a look of horror appeared on his face. Like the horrified Zi Wang, Lin Kong couldn't help but take a step back in fear after seeing Zuba's 3rd eye. Combined with Zuba's words, "I was controlled," Lin Kong quickly understood the source of the danger. It was the intelligent mutant zombie, 3-eyed zombie. Chapter 327, Movements Under the Belly. As we all know, there are 3 types of intelligent mutant zombies known to humans: Zhuge corpse, 3-eyed corpse, and taming corpse. Zhuge corpse can control zombies. At the beginning, it led a zombie army to attack the gathering place of the county. Unfortunately, it met Lin Kong. Therefore, Zhuge corpse's plan to have a big meal not only failed, but the 2 level 3 mutant zombies under its command were also killed by Lin Kong. Moreover, even Zhuge corpse became Lin Kong's younger brother and served as a tool corpse to kill its own kind. As for taming corpse, as the name suggests, it is a mutant zombie that controls wild beasts. Lin Kong has not encountered it so far. The last type, 3-eyed corpse, can control humans. The other 2 types either control zombies to attack humans or tame wild beasts to attack humans. However, 3-eyed corpse directly controls humans. Using humans to attack humans is the most terrifying method among the 3 types of intelligent zombies. According to the information Zi Wang has, Lin Kong once asked about the characteristics of 3-eyed corpse. The 3-eyed corpse has 2 obvious characteristics. One of them is that this mutant zombie has 3 eyes on its forehead. At this moment, the scarred Zuba has a 3rd eye on his forehead. However, Zuba just said I am controlled by a zombie. Therefore, Zuba is not a 3-eyed corpse. At this point, we have to mention another characteristic of the 3-eyed corpse. People controlled by the 3-eyed corpse will also grow a 3rd eye on their forehead. Under normal circumstances, the 3rd eye will not be revealed on the forehead of the controlled person. Only when the 3-eyed corpse wants to use the controlled person to do something, the controlled person will reveal the 3rd eye hidden in the forehead. The reason why Zi Wang's perspective eyes could not see the 3rd eye hidden under Zuba's forehead is because the level of the 3-eyed corpse that controls Zuba is too high. The level of the 3-eyed corpse should be far higher than Zi Wang's level, so that Zi Wang did not notice the existence of the 3rd eye at all. Zi Wang obviously understood this. Level 5. Zi Wang guessed that the 3-eyed corpse that controlled Zuba was at least level 5. Level 3 new humans or mutant zombies have a unique suppression power that can completely defeat all level 2 and level 1 new humans. And level 5 new humans or mutant zombies naturally have super powerful special abilities. Zi Wang and Lin Kong didn't know about this special ability because they hadn't encountered level 5 new humans or mutant zombies yet. In short, Zi Wang and Lin Kong knew that once they encountered level 5 new humans or mutant zombies, the best choice was not to think about tactical plans to deal with the enemy, but to run away. Try your best to think about the best escape route. Therefore, when Lin Kong saw the third eye on Zuba's forehead, his thinking strategy instantly became how to escape and where to run and so on. However, the fact is that Lin Kong couldn't run away at all. Looking at your expression, I think you know. Zuba also showed a bitter smile at the corner of his mouth. He did not feel gloating because Lin Kong could not escape, because not only Lin Kong could not escape, but even Wu Feiang, who had a good relationship with him, could not escape either. The reason why Zuba smiled bitterly was that he felt sad and helpless about his fate, although he jumped from a level 1 new human to a level 4 new human. However, while gaining powerful strength, he also lost his precious freedom. Zuba had to work for the zombies. Since being controlled by the three-eyed corpse, Zuba had to regard humans as enemies, but treat the brutal zombies as friends. Just like Shenzhou, treat zombies as friends. In Xiong City, there are many mutant beasts. These wildly multiplying mutant beasts have eaten many zombies, and the zombies are about to become extinct. Three-eyed corpse wants to gather all its kind in the entire urban area. However, the mutant zombies have low IQs and are simply unable to perform rescue tasks. Therefore, Three-Eyed Corpse controls some humans and establishes the profession of corpse rescuer. Shenzhou, Dao Guang, the green-haired youth, and Zuba are all corpse rescuers, who are responsible for rescuing the remaining zombies. Among these four people, the one that Three-Eyed Corpse likes and values the most is Shenzhou. The original text is available at Liu number 9 at book/bar. Because Shenzhou is different from other humans, like Zuba and Zhao Guang, they all have prejudices against zombies to a certain extent, and they don't want to save zombies that feed on humans. They hate zombies, and they can kill zombies without any psychological pressure, but they can't save zombies willingly. Once Zhao Guang, Zuba and others are out of the control of Three-Eyed Corpse, they will not hesitate to point their butcher knives at those poor zombies. This is something that Three-Eyed Corpse doesn't want to see. But Shenzhou is completely different. She took the initiative to rescue zombies a long time ago. She thinks that zombies will turn back into zombies sooner or later, and she regards zombies as close friends. Her superpower is zombie communication. This ability prevents zombies from attacking her. Shenzhou also saved many innocent and pitiful zombies with this special ability. Therefore, Three-Eyed Corpse is very optimistic about Shenzhou. Just like the loyal Murongjing to the president, Shenzhou, who loves zombies, is also valued by Three-Eyed Corpse. It doesn't matter if other people die. However, once Shenzhou is beaten to death, the consequences will be very serious. Zuba had the honor of seeing Shenzhou die once, so he knew what happened next. I admit that your strength is very strong, and your thinking is also very calm and smart. However, in this doomsday, there are even more powerful existences. Such powerful existences cannot be compensated by tricks. As soon as Zuba finished speaking, puff, the white sportswear on Shenzhou's body suddenly broke apart. What's going on? Obviously, the head was blown up, but the body could move. Could it be that Shenzhou turned into a zombie? Impossible. Shenzhou's brain was shattered. In this case, it is impossible to turn into a zombie. Lin Kong looked at it with doubt. I saw Shenzhou's white and tender belly under her sportswear rising and falling regularly. There was something inside. Zi Wang, who was at the corner of the street, always paid attention to Lin Kong. He naturally discovered that Shenzhou's abdomen was abnormal. His perspective eyes had been opened long ago. However, he found nothing. This shows that the level of what is in Shenzhou's stomach has far exceeded his own level. Chapter 328. Three-Eyed Corpse appears. Pop. Shenzhu's snow-white belly suddenly split open. Bright red blood gushed out. Palm. A bloody palm stretched out from Shenzhu's belly. Seeing this weird scene, Lin Kong couldn't help but take a few steps back. At the corner of the street, a female new human with a bad mentality saw the hand on Shenzhu's belly and screamed, "Ah, hand, hand, hand. Oh my god, there is a hand sticking out of the belly. Oh my god, is there an alien hidden in that woman's belly? This is too scary. There is a living thing hidden in that woman's belly." Li Minutes on the side was also scared and her pretty face turned pale. She tightly grasped Wu Fei's arm. Although Wu Fei was also afraid of what was in Shenzhu's stomach, he looked at Lin Kong firmly. Don't be afraid, we have Lin the squad leader. Don't worry, Lin the squad leader will definitely come up with an effective way to deal with that monster. Wu Fei had full faith in Lin Kong's ability. If the sky falls, there will be a tall man to hold it up. In Wu Fei's eyes, Lin Kong was that tall man. When Wu Fei found out about the siege of the zombie army at the gathering place in the county, he felt extremely desperate. But in the end, they were all solved by Lin the squad leader. Even Zhu Shi, who controlled the zombie army, became Lin the squad leader's younger brother. Therefore, Wu Fei believed that no matter what happened, Lin the squad leader would always come up with a good solution. Unlike Wu Fei's firm belief, Zi Wang had a solemn look on his face. He found that his perspective eyes could not see through the living creature in Shenzhu's stomach at all. This was the second thing Zi Wang could not see through. As for the first person that Zi Wang couldn't see through, it was Lin Kong. But the problem was that the level of the creature in Shenzhu's stomach seemed to be far higher than Lin Kong. Zi Wang held his breath and watched the changes in Shenzhu's stomach intently. Swish. Shenzhu's belly was torn open by that hand. It was like a piece of cloth being torn. Everyone's scalp was numb, their backs were cold, and their legs were shaking as if they wanted to walk away. Then, they saw another hand stretched out from the stomach. Lin Kong's mind was still clear, and he could see that this hand was very full, not like the shriveled hand of a zombie. However, maybe the palm of a high-level zombie has changed to a level similar to that of a human. After all, the eyeballs of a level 3, Zhuge corpse, are almost the same as those of a normal person. Not to mention the higher level, three-eyed corpse. Thinking that the creature in Shenzhu's stomach might be a three-eyed corpse, Lin Kong couldn't help but take a step back. He planned to use the 7 black balls to escape. Unlike the panicked crowd, Zhu Ba just frowned and felt a little uncomfortable, because he had seen this scene once before. When he stretched out his hands, a bloody head slowly rose up. The face of this head had an aquiline nose and eyes flashing with sharp eyes. Overall, it looked very handsome. Then, from Shenzhu's stomach came out a naked, strong and muscular upper body with 8 abdominal muscles. Finally, it was a muscular lower body without pants. This handsome man without clothes stood on the ground barefoot. His whole body was bathed in bright red blood, which looked very strange and terrifying. When this strange handsome man came out, Lin Kong had already flown 100 meters high on the 7 black balls, and the people at the corner of the street had all ridden on the wind god pterosaurs and fled quickly. They would not stand there stupidly, waiting for this handsome man to slowly come out of Shenzhu's stomach. A monster that can come out of a human's stomach is extremely awesome. The original text is available at Liu number 9 at book/bar. Whoever wants to fight can fight. The best way is to run away quickly. The speed of the 7 black balls has reached 180 per second. This speed is almost half the speed of sound. With such a fast speed, Lin Kong has already escaped nearly 10 kilometers in just 1 minute. Lin Kong's other companions also rode on the wind god pterosaur and escaped nearly 5 or 6 kilometers in 1 minute. The entrance of the hotel, it was very lively just now. After the handsome man came out of Shenzhu's stomach, everything around became very quiet. A breeze gently blew up a piece of withered yellow camphor leaf on the ground. This yellow camphor leaf fluttered in the air for a moment, but by some strange coincidence, it stuck to the arm of the handsome man. The handsome man didn't care about the camphor leaf. He turned around and saw Shenzhou lying on the ground with her stomach torn open and her head exploded. In his calm eyes, a red light suddenly appeared. This is an obvious sign of an angry zombie. If a human is angry, At most his eyes will be filled with angry bloodshot. However, if a high-level zombie is angry, then its eyes will instantly emit a red bloodthirsty light. Of course, even the turbid eyes of ordinary zombies will emit a bloodthirsty light of desire after seeing the delicious human. In short, although the eyes of high-level zombies are exactly the same as those of ordinary people, the types of zombies and humans can be distinguished through their performance when they are angry. Therefore, through the red eyes of this handsome man, it can be inferred that this guy is a zombie. Zuba, who stood respectfully aside, naturally understood that the handsome man in front of him was a zombie. He also understood that this guy was not only a high-level mutant zombie, but also an extremely rare and terrifying, three-eyed zombie. The handsome hook-nosed, three-eyed zombie opened the third eye on his forehead and said in a cold tone, "You dare to hurt my most devout believer. It is really an unforgivable sin." When the hook-nosed, three-eyed zombie spoke, it did not make any ho-ho strange sounds, and it spoke very fluently, almost the same as the tone of ordinary humans. Because it is a level 6 zombie, it is precisely because of knowing the super high level of this three-eyed zombie that Zuba persuaded Lin Kong to run away quickly. It is precisely because of knowing the terrifying strength of this three-eyed zombie that Zuba said pessimistically that even if Lin Kong ran away at the first time, he could not escape the palm of the three-eyed zombie. Although the three-eyed zombie wanted to chase and kill Lin Kong and his group immediately, it decided to revive Shenzhou first. As the spiritual energy in the body circulated, the camphor leaves stuck on the arms of the three-eyed corpse were seen rapidly turning from yellow to green. Chapter 329 Shenzhou's Resurrection. Hutilda. As a breeze blew by, the camphor leaf that had turned green circled in the air, floating happily. Gently, the green camphor leaf fell on Shenzhou's blasted head. Although a camphor leaf fell into Shenzhou's shattered brain, the hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse didn't care at all. He slowly squatted down, and his palms, which were glowing with a faint green light, pressed on Shenzhou's head and heart respectively. After 2 or 3 seconds, a slight heartbeat could be heard from Shenzhou's chest. Her heart had apparently resumed its work. Not only had her heart revived, but even the fragments of Shenzhou's head that were shattered on the ground quickly combined together under the guidance of the green light, like a puzzle. In less than 4 or 5 seconds, Shenzhou's head had returned to its original appearance. A closer look revealed that Shenzhou's nose was expanding and contracting to breathe in the fresh air. Shenzhou's long eyelashes were also trembling slightly. Even her head was instantly restored, not to mention a mere torn stomach. In just 1 or 2 seconds, the wound on her stomach was easily sutured by the green light like a zipper. After the wound on her stomach was completely healed, there was still no scar on her white and tender belly. It seemed that her stomach had never been torn open. If Zuba had not just seen the hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse crawling out of Shenzhou's stomach, he would have even thought that Shenzhou's stomach had not been cruelly and bloodily torn open at all. "Find me some clothes," the hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse said lightly. Scarface Zuba looked at the torn white sportswear on Shenzhou, immediately replied yes, and turned to go into the hotel to find clothes to cover Shenzhou's body. Not long after Zuba left, Shenzhou's left ring finger moved slightly. Then, ahem tilde, accompanied by a coughing sound, Shenzhou frowned and opened her eyes. There was a moment of confusion in her eyes. When she saw the hook-nosed man beside her, Shenzhou's confused expression immediately became joyful. "Hey, brother Three Eyes, why are you here?" Shenzhou sat up from the ground at once. The three-eyed corpse showed Shenzhou a gentle smile, and he replied softly, "Of course I'm here for you. Oh, by the way, I was killed by a hateful guy with horns on his head. It's great that you are here, brother Three Eyes, otherwise I would really be dead." Shenzhou seemed particularly happy. However, when she was talking to the hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse, Shenzhou found that there seemed to be something in her mouth. She opened her mouth, reached out and took the thing in her mouth out and took a look. It turned out to be a green camphor leaf. When the hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse saw the camphor leaf, a sly smile appeared on his face. "I just did a little experiment with your head. I wanted to see if this leaf would merge with your brain after your head recovered. It seems that it won't. When I completely heal you, your body will automatically expel the parts that don't belong to you. Therefore, this camphor leaf will not appear in your brain or the flesh of your cheeks, but in your mouth. Shenzhou quickly threw away the camphor leaf in her hand that was covered with saliva, and pretended to be angry and said, "Brother Three-Eyed, you are really annoying. You actually used my head to do your weird experiments. Ha 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 tilde." Seeing Shenzhou's angry look, the hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse seemed even happier, and even laughed out loud. Shenzhou looked at the handsome face of the hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse. She observed carefully and found that the way the three-eyed corpse laughed was exactly the same as the way humans laugh. However, Shenzhou knew that although the behavior of this handsome three-eyed corpse was almost the same as that of a normal human, the heart of the three-eyed corpse would not beat. Even if it was a level 6 zombie, its heart would still not beat. If the heart of the three-eyed corpse could beat normally like a human, if the eyes of the three-eyed corpse would not emit a bloodthirsty red light when angry, then the three-eyed corpse should be considered a proper human. Read the original text at 6 number 9 at book/bar. Shenzhou looked forward to it. She hoped that all the zombies in this world could turn back into normal humans. Even if they could not turn into normal humans, Shenzhou also hoped that as their levels continued to rise, their hearts would be able to resume beating and eventually turn into human appearance. Shenzhou's ultimate dream was that after decades, humans and zombies could live together in a beautiful city in peace and tranquility. And the three-eyed corpse in front of her was likely to be the one who would achieve her dream. Shenzhou was not controlled by the superpower of the three-eyed corpse, human control. She was willing to become a believer of the three-eyed corpse, and contribute her own meager strength to the three-eyed corpse. As she thought about it, Shenzhou showed a fanatical admiration for the three-eyed corpse. The hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse reached out and touched Shenzhou's head. "I have asked Zuba to find clothes for you. You should change your torn clothes later." Shenzhou was so busy worshipping the three-eyed corpse that she didn't notice the torn white sportswear on her body. After the three-eyed corpse reminded her, Shenzhou lowered her head and saw her white belly, which was exposed without any cover. Her face turned red, and she pretended to be angry and said, "Humphrey, you are so shameless. You actually came out of someone's belly again." As soon as she saw the shape of her clothes, Shenzhou already understood the means by which the three-eyed corpse came here. Shenzhou had died once before. That time, the three-eyed corpse also crawled out of Shenzhou's stomach in the same way. This appearance, similar to the movie Alien, is really terrifying and weird. When Shenzhou thought of a handsome guy with a hook nose just crawling out of her stomach, she felt a chill, and goosebumps appeared on her skin. Fortunately, the three-eyed corpse is a handsome guy, so Shenzhou didn't feel sick to the point of vomiting. If the three-eyed corpse's facial features looked crooked and weird, Shenzhou probably would not want to be resurrected by an ugly monster even if she died. There is no way, even if it is the end of the world. For Shenzhou, this is also a doomsday world where looks matter. Chapter 330 Lin Kong's stomach was ripped. "Shenzhou, stay here first. I'll go and catch the man who killed you." The hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse took his hand from Shenzhou's head. "Okay, brother Three-Eyed, you have to catch him alive. I have to teach that man with horns on his head a lesson." Shenzhou felt so angry when she thought of the triangular green-skinned man, because this guy not only came up with the vicious idea of killing her zombie friend in front of her, but also took the opportunity to sneak attack her neck and punched her head. Shenzhou had to torture this triangular green-skinned man for such a man who didn't know how to cherish women. "No problem, I won't kill him." Three-eyed corpse's handsome face showed an evil smile. Turning around, three-eyed corpse activated his superpower, human control. As mentioned earlier, almost every new human's superpower has hidden attributes. For example, Fanguonen's communication with wild beasts not only allows Fanguonen to communicate with wild beasts, but also gives him the hidden ability to distinguish the value of wild beast excrement and grow special vegetables based on these excrement. Since the superpowers of the new humans have hidden abilities, the superpowers of mutant zombies also have hidden attributes. After all, The same kind of spiritual energy flows in the bodies of new humans and mutant zombies, as a level 6 mutant zombie, three-eyed corpse, can not only use human control to easily control the actions of humans. Moreover, he has discovered the hidden attribute of human control, human teleportation. It means to get out of the stomach of the marked human. Even if three-eyed corpse is at the south pole of the earth and the marked person is at the north pole of the earth, three-eyed corpse can also use the hidden ability of human teleportation to teleport directly from the south pole to the body of the marked person in the north pole, then get out of the stomach of the marked person. So, the question is, who will become the marked person? It's very simple. As long as the three-eyed corpse touches someone with his palm, he can mark that person instantly. Another situation is that the marked person is killed by someone else. Then, the murderer will also be stained with the unique mark of the three-eyed corpse. Obviously, Lin Kong had previously punched Shenzu's head, killed Zhao Guang with a forest pterosaur, and crushed the head of the green-haired young man. At this moment, Lin Kong has been marked with 3 marks. After being marked, Lin Kong can only escape the tracking of the three-eyed corpse by riding a rocket to outer space. Therefore, Zhu Bao persuaded Lin Kong to run away quickly, but after persuading him, Zhu Bao felt that Lin Kong could not run away at all. The reason why Zhu Bao did that was because he knew the horror of the three-eyed corpse, and the means of the three-eyed corpse. As a level 6 mutant zombie, the three-eyed corpse marked it, and Lin Kong's dinosaurs were only level 4 in strength, and they could not sense it at all. Therefore, Lin Kong, who had already escaped for hundreds of kilometers, thought he was safe. The speed of Lin Kong's 7 black balls was 180 meters per second. The speed of the level 4 Tyrannosaur was 100 meters per second. The speed of the 7 black balls was nearly twice that of the Tyrannosaur. With such a huge speed difference, Lin Kong was naturally far behind Wu Fei, Zi Wang and others. In order to facilitate contact, Lin Kong left the Tyrannosaurus Rex on the back of the Tyrannosaur where Wu Fei was. Lin Kong himself carried the highest level forest pterosaur and the Triceratops, which was always in a state of possession. After all, Lin Kong was just a 0-level new human with only 4 strands of spiritual energy. However, Lin Kong still carried the magical winter melon bought from Fang Guonan. This evening, Lin Kong can eat another 4 pounds of winter melon to increase his spiritual energy by 4 strands, and by tomorrow evening, Lin Kong can eat another 2 pounds of magical winter melon and become a serious level 1 new human with 10 strands of spiritual energy. By then, Lin Kong will have his own superpower. What will my superpower be? Lin Kong flew forward rapidly on the 7 black balls, looking forward to the arrival of tomorrow evening. But suddenly, he found that his stomach was swollen. At the same time, a strong sense of uneasiness filled Lin Kong's mind. The forest pterosaur hidden in his sleeves also sent a warning of danger to Lin Kong. The 7 black balls under his feet and the Triceratops attached to his body also conveyed fear to Lin Kong's mind at the same time. The original text is available at Liu number 9/. Lin Kong suddenly remembered the bloody scene of a hand sticking out of Shenzu's stomach. So, Lin Kong couldn't help but have a terrible guess in his heart that made his scalp numb. Looking down, Lin Kong lifted up his clothes and was horrified to find that his belly was rolling up and down. It seemed that there seemed to be a living thing hidden under that belly. No way? Could it be? When Lin Kong thought of the changes in Shenzu's stomach, goosebumps appeared all over his skin. What he feared was bound to happen. Puff tilde. Blood splattered. A hand stretched out. Sizzle tilde. The wound was quickly torn and expanded. Another hand stretched out. After both arms were fully stretched out, it was the head. Lin Kong's forehead was sweating from the pain. He clenched his teeth and tried his best to identify the face of the head that emerged from his stomach. Sure enough, it was exactly the same as the head that emerged from Shenzu's stomach. A resolute hooked nose and a handsome face. After the arms and head came out, it was the upper and lower body without clothes. After a while, the three-eyed corpse finally got out of Lin Kong's stomach. The 7 black balls were frightened by the powerful aura of the level 6 three-eyed corpse, and stopped in the air, not daring to move. The forest pterosaur trembled and huddled quietly in Lin Kong's sleeve. The triceratops on Lin Kong's body, which had turned into liquid dragon armor, did not dare to change back to its original form, nor did it dare to actively attack the three-eyed corpse. Lin Kong, covered in blood, lay dying on the 7 black balls. He looked at the three-eyed corpse in fear. At this moment, Lin Kong finally understood what Zhu Ba had said before. Indeed, he really could not escape from the palm of the three-eyed corpse. This three-eyed corpse was really too terrifying. Not only was it of high level and strong power, but it could also directly drill out of someone's stomach. Faced with such a strange skill, Lin Kong could not even raise the thought of resistance. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 331. I like this chapter. When the three-eyed corpse came out of his stomach, Lin Kong thought he was going to kill him. But he didn't expect. Three-eyed corpse actually approached the dying Lin Kong with his palms emitting green light. One palm was placed on Lin Kong's forehead, and the other palm was placed on Lin Kong's heart. The blood that was originally flowing out stopped immediately. Not only did it stop, but the blood that spilled on the surface of the 7 black balls ignored the influence of the Earth's gravity and automatically flowed upstream and returned to Lin Kong's stomach. The torn stomach and broken ribs returned to their original positions as the green light flowed between the three-eyed corpse's palms. The whole treatment process was as magical as if time had gone back. Lin Kong was stunned when he saw the three-eyed corpse's amazing skills. You are so strong. I admire you. I admire you. The level difference was too big. Lin Kong could roughly guess that the level of this three-eyed corpse was at least level 6. Looking at him, he was like a tiny ant looking at an extremely strong elephant. He could not think of attacking at all. If he used Overlord Flame to surround his body, Lin Kong might be able to generate the courage to fight. However, reason told Lin Kong there was no way to fight. Even if his heart could generate the will to fight, even if the live fire in his right eye could revive him. However, Lin Kong still felt that he could never defeat a level 6 three-eyed corpse. If the three-eyed corpse was a level 5 mutant zombie, Lin Kong might still find a way to defeat it. However, facing a level 6 three-eyed corpse that was 3 levels higher than Triceratops and 2 levels higher than Forest Pterosaur, Lin Kong did not want to think about it at all. Even if he racked his brains, he probably couldn't think of a way to defeat this guy. Since he couldn't beat him, he had to say some nice words to coax him. Judging from the fact that the three-eyed corpse took the initiative to treat me, he didn't want to kill me immediately. So, I just need to level up 1 or 2 more levels while I'm still alive, and maybe I can kill this three-eyed corpse in the future. Three-eyed corpse still had no expression on his face in the face of Lin Kong's praise. His voice contained anger. If Shenzhou hadn't said that he wanted to catch you alive, you would have been eaten by me now. Hearing the words of the three-eyed corpse, Lin Kong was shocked at first, but then he quickly reacted. According to what the three-eyed corpse said, Shenzhou should still be alive at this moment, but Shenzhou's head had obviously been blown up by me. Through the three-eyed corpse's treatment behavior just now, Lin Kong could easily guess that the reason why Shenzhou was alive must be that she was resurrected by the three-eyed corpse. Since his live fire can revive himself, it is not surprising that the three-eyed corpse, a level 6 three-eyed corpse, has some means to revive Shenzhou. So, after a brief moment of shock, Lin Kong immediately put on an apologetic smile. It's a misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding. I never meant to hurt Ms. Shenzhou on purpose. It's all Zhu Linyun's fault. Well, it's because that woman is too beautiful that she affected my mind and made me do such a shameless and immoral thing. Lin Kong reprimanded himself for his behavior. After all, although this three-eyed corpse is an intelligent zombie, maybe his brain is not that flexible. Maybe his sweet words can deceive him. However, Lin Kong's wish was dashed. Three-eyed corpse still had a cold face, and the bloodthirsty red light in his eyes still did not fade. Reaching out his hand, the hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse pointed in the direction of the hotel behind Lin Kong. Fly back. If you have anything to say, go to Shenzhou and say it. Okay. Lin Kong knew that he couldn't escape at this moment. Although the 7 black balls run fast, the three-eyed corpse can get out of my stomach directly. Even if the 7 black balls take Lin Kong to the ends of the earth, it will be useless. He had no choice but to turn the 7 black balls' heads around and slowly fly towards the hotel. The original text is available at 6 number 9 at books/bar. At the same time, he also communicated with the Tyrannosaurus Rex in the distance with his mind. Damn dragon, don't fly here. Take everyone to find a hidden building to hide for a while. Okay. The Tyrannosaurus Rex didn't say anything nonsense. It was too lazy to think. It did whatever Lin Kong said. Moreover, from the perception of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, Lin Kong seemed to have been threatened with his life just now, but now he has fully recovered. Therefore, the Tyrannosaurus Rex didn't continue to worry about Lin Kong. Since Lin Kong was no longer in danger, the Tyrannosaurus Rex took Wu Fei, Zi Wang and others and hid in a school gymnasium on the ground. Lin Kong felt relieved when he sensed that the Tyrannosaurus Rex and his other companions had all hidden in a safe place. Judging from the behavior of the three-eyed corpse, it seemed to be coming for me alone. This is a bad thing, but also a good thing. The good thing is that Wu Fei, Li Minutes and others are temporarily safe and will not be affected. Three-eyed corpse found that Lin Kong's 7 black balls were only 20 to 30 meters per second. Such a slow speed is simply impossible to escape so far. So, three-eyed corpse thought Lin Kong was deliberately slowing down, and he immediately urged unhappily, hurry up and speed up. Okay. When I was running for my life just now, I flew too fast, and my 7 black balls were a little tired, so I flew slowly. Lin Kong hurriedly nodded and explained. There was no way. Since three-eyed corpse had spoken, in order not to offend the powerful three-eyed corpse, Lin Kong could only increase the speed of the 7 black balls a little. However, no matter how slow Lin Kong slowed down the speed of the 7 black balls, as time went by, he still flew back to the door of the hotel on the 7 black balls and met Shenzhou, who had been resurrected. Although he had already guessed that Shenzhou was resurrected by the three-eyed corpse, when Lin Kong saw Shenzhou's head intact on her neck, he still couldn't help but admire her. This three-eyed corpse is really awesome. Although Lin Kong's life fire can heal himself and even resurrect himself, Lin Kong's green life fire cannot help heal his teammates. It can't even help heal the small wounds cut by grass leaves on his teammates. From this point of view, the ability of the three-eyed corpse is much stronger than Lin Kong's. Although the three-eyed corpse is very powerful, he seems to listen to Shenzhou very much. In this way, Lin Kong roughly has a plan to escape. Chapter 332, Vicious Shenzhou. At the entrance of the hotel, Shenzhou had changed into a brand new white sportswear. When she saw Lin Kong flying down from the sky, her eyebrows immediately stood up. Okay, you bad guy, you killed my brother Zhao Guang, and you killed me. Now, you finally fell into my hands. I will torture you to death. Lin Kong wanted to explain, but seeing Shenzhou's angry look, he immediately shut up. Only after Shenzhou's anger subsided a little, Lin Kong could persuade her. At this time, Lin Kong caught a glimpse of Zhao Guang's dead body in the bushes. After Zhao Guang's head was blown up, three-eyed corpse did not revive him. Shenzhou did not ask three-eyed corpse to revive Zhao Guang, because Shenzhou knew that three-eyed corpse had always been dissatisfied with Shenzhou and Zhao Guang, an older uncle, dating. Although Shenzhou and Zhao Guang were in true love, three-eyed corpse treated Shenzhou as the most devout believer. Such a perfect and loyal believer fell in love with a 40-year-old uncle, and the three-eyed corpse was upset. Normally, the three-eyed corpse had already shown it and warned Shenzhou and Zhao Guang. So, Shenzhou and Zhao Guang were secretly having an underground love affair. So, when Zhao Guang died, Shenzhou wanted the three-eyed corpse to help revive Zhao Guang, but Shenzhou also understood that the three-eyed corpse would never revive Zhao Guang. Fortunately, the three-eyed corpse, called Lin Kong, the hateful and vicious triangle green man. Shen Zhu pointed at Lin Kong's nose with gritted teeth and said viciously, "Since you dare to propose the idea of abusing your zombie friends in front of me, then I can also let your friends die one by one in front of you." It was because of Lin Kong's inspiration that Shen Zhu also came up with an extremely vicious idea. As the saying goes, killing someone is to destroy their heart. Shen Zhu not only wanted to kill Lin Kong, but also wanted Lin Kong to suffer before his death. After saying that, Shen Zhu turned to the three-eyed corpse, and begged, "Brother Three-Eyed, can you find the companions of this abominable guy?" "Sorry, Shen Zhu, his companions didn't kill you, and I didn't touch their bodies before, so I can't find them back." Three-eyed corpse looked apologetic. Lin Kong, who was standing by, breathed a sigh of relief after hearing this. "Fortunately, three-eyed corpse, couldn't find my companions, otherwise, I would have hurt them badly." Lin Kong shuddered at the thought of the terrible scene of Wu Fei, Li Minutes and others being tortured in front of him. Shen Zhu's expression was very serious just now. "This shows that she really wanted to torture my companions in front of me. Well, good, you're dead. Although you are resurrected at this moment, I will kill you again." Lin Kong's companions escaped this time because they did not participate in the killing process. However, Shen Zhu's mind is so vicious that Lin Kong has decided that as long as he survives this crisis, he must kill Shen Zhu. There is a snow in Shen Zhu's name. Snow represents purity, but it is the wrong name to use on Shen Zhu, a pervert who treats zombies as friends. Lin Kong's eyes revealed a trace of ruthlessness. He originally wanted to explain to Shen Zhu, but now it seems that it is useless even if he explains. This woman's thinking is too stubborn. Lin Kong felt that no matter what he said, he could not change this woman's mind. Since it doesn't make sense, then forget it. Next, what Lin Kong has to do is to wait and see. Because the three-eyed corpse couldn't find Lin Kong's companion, Shen Zhu had to walk up to Lin Kong with a sullen face. "Since your companion can't be found, I have to torture you." As she said, Shen Zhu stretched out her hand and pulled out a machete. It was the machete that Lin Kong had just dropped on the ground. Shen Zhu held a machete in one hand. She held two machetes and slowly walked towards Lin Kong. Lin Kong was naturally not a lamb to be slaughtered. He stepped on the 7 black balls and was about to run away. However, at this moment, the hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse activated his superpower, human control. A hazy purple light emanated from the eyes of the three-eyed corpse. This purple light was almost the same as the purple light emitted from Li Minutes' fingers when she released Yes or No. The original text is available at Liu number 9 at book/bar. It seems that almost all superpowers related to mind control are emitting hazy purple light. However, the hazy purple light emitted from the eyes of the three-eyed corpse is brighter and more blurred than the purple light emitted when Li Minutes released Yes or No. Moreover, it is more powerful. Li Minutes' superpower, Yes or No, can only control the enemy's head and force the opponent to say yes or no. The superpower of the three-eyed corpse, human control, is far more advanced than Li Minutes' superpower. Just as Lin Kong was about to retreat, he was immediately controlled by the human control of the three-eyed corpse. Not only the physical control of the body, but also the mind control of the mind. The three-eyed corpse also easily achieved it. Lin Kong's original idea was to retreat, but after being controlled by the three-eyed corpse, his idea of retreating immediately disappeared. When he saw the two machetes in Shen Zhu's hand, Lin Kong still felt a strong fear in his heart. However, Lin Kong no longer had the idea of escaping. Since his mind didn't want to escape, Lin Kong's body naturally couldn't escape. So, Shen Zhu approached Lin Kong. Shen Zhu swung the knife in her hand and chopped at Lin Kong's body one by one. Miserable howls rang out at the door of the hotel. Dozens of kilometers away, in a school gymnasium somewhere, Wu Fei, Li Minutes, Zi Wang and others were with dinosaurs such as Tyrannosaurus Rex, Quetzalcoatlus, and Tornado Pterosaur. Li Minutes seemed a little worried. She felt one of her eyes twitching constantly. It seemed that something bad was happening. A woman's intuition is always very accurate. Yes, just as Li Minutes guessed, Lin Kong was torturing Shenzhou with a machete. Wu Feng turned around and found Li Minut's worried and anxious face. He walked over to comfort her. "Don't worry, Squad leader Lin is a lucky person. Nothing will happen to him. We just need to stay here and wait for squad leader Lin to return victorious." Wu Feng believed in Lin Kong very much. He felt that no matter what kind of desperate situation he was in, Lin Kong would always be able to turn danger into safety, although this kind of belief was relatively blind. However, Wu Feng still guessed right. Chapter 333 Becoming a Slave. At the entrance of the hotel, Lin Kong, who was covered in wounds, was lying on the ground with his last breath. There was a look of pain in his eyes. However, in Lin Kong's heart, he was secretly planning a counterattack. First of all, it should be made clear that he was no match for the three-eyed corpse. At the moment, once the three-eyed corpse was around, he could not show any rash behavior. If he showed his intention to counterattack, then the three-eyed corpse would definitely kill him directly. Although the fire of life could revive him, he would not gain magical powers after resurrection, nor would he increase his strength or suddenly awaken superpowers. After resurrection, he still could not beat the three-eyed corpse. And once the three-eyed corpse resurrected itself, it would definitely guard the corpse to ensure that it killed itself. Just like the players in the online game, they kept killing the opponents at the resurrection point. If the three-eyed corpse kept guarding his corpse, then no matter how many times the fire of life resurrected him, the three-eyed corpse would keep killing him. Finally, when the live fire has exhausted its power of resurrection, it is the time for him to die completely. Therefore, he must not expose the existence of the live fire, nor can he use the live fire to heal himself. Therefore, facing Shenzhou's torture, Lin Kong could only grit his teeth and endure silently. The forest pterosaur originally in his sleeves was also secretly moved to the nearby bushes. Live fire cannot be exposed, and neither can the forest pterosaur. Fortunately, the three-eyed corpse did not discover the existence of the forest pterosaur. Ha ha ha, so cool. Shenzhou held Lin Kong's machete in both hands, with bright red blood on her face. She looked at Lin Kong on the ground, who was like a dead dog, with joy and madness. "I didn't expect that you would be reduced to this point." Shenzhou crossed the two machetes and placed them on Lin Kong's neck. "Now, I'm going to end you." Shenzhou's wrists were slowly exerting force. The blade of the machete gradually cut the skin on Lin Kong's neck and sank into the flesh and blood. Death is imminent. Lin Kong closed his eyes. On the surface, a look of fear appeared on his face, but in fact, what Lin Kong was really worried about was that his live fire was about to be exposed. After I was killed later, the live fire in my right eye would definitely be automatically activated, and then I would be resurrected. The forest pterosaur hiding in the bushes naturally saw the two machetes on Lin Kong's neck. She sent anxious thoughts to Lin Kong. She wanted to rush forward and kill Shenzhou in sportswear in seconds. However, Lin Kong stopped her with his mind. "Green Bin, you are not allowed to act without my order. Don't worry, I will be resurrected after I die. If I am not resurrected, it will not be too late for you to fight them desperately." Faced with Lin Kong's order, the forest pterosaur could only suppress her urge to attack Shenzhou. Although the forest pterosaur was angry, she could not make any sound like roaring, because Lin Kong ordered her to hide her body to prevent the three-eyed hook-nosed zombie from discovering her tracks. For Lin Kong, the level 4 forest pterosaur should be the most powerful fighting force. If he wants to fight back, he must protect the forest pterosaur as the ace. Once the forest pterosaur is born, Lin Kong's next actions will be difficult. The triceratops on his body naturally felt the death threat on Lin Kong's neck. It wanted to remove the dinosaur possession, and then jump out and kick Shenzhou, the bastard, to death. Of course, the 7 black balls parked behind him also wanted to attack Shenzhou. However, Lin Kong still stopped them and told them not to act trashly. At this time, Shenzhou approached Lin Kong's ear and smiled evilly. "Ha ha ha, I'm going to kill you. Are you afraid? Hurry up. I'm tired of living." Lin Kong did not beg, because he knew that if he begged Shenzhou bitterly, Shenzhou would most likely not let him go. The original text is available at Liu number 9/. However, if he pretended to be completely indifferent, it would arouse Shenzhou's desire to conquer. In that case, maybe Shenzhou would continue to keep Lin Kong alive so that he could continue to torture him. As long as Lin Kong didn't die now, he would have a chance to launch a fatal counterattack against the three-eyed corpse. Of course, Lin Kong was also gambling. He couldn't be 100% sure whether Shenzhou would really keep him alive so that he could continue to torture him with various cruel means. Fortunately, the goddess of luck stood on Lin Kong's side. "Papa." Shenzhou pulled out 2 machetes and slapped Lin Kong's face viciously. She said to Lin Kong grimly, "Humphrey, I won't let you die so easily." "Hee, I just thought of a great idea." Lin Kong saw that Shenzhou really didn't kill him immediately, and a trace of relief appeared in the depths of his eyes. However, Lin Kong's face showed a painful look, as if he hoped that Shenzhou would quickly end his miserable life. Seeing Lin Kong's painful expression, Shenzhou was quite happy. Then, Shenzhou turned around, walked to the side of the three-eyed corpse, and whispered in the latter's ear, "Brother, three-eyed corpse, why don't we take this hateful guy to the arena in the gathering place?" The hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse listened to Shenzhou's suggestion, raised his resolute and cold eyebrows slightly, and a playful expression appeared on his face. "Shenzhou, your idea is very good. It just so happens that the humans in our arena need some new things." As he said, three-eyed corpse also looked at Lin Kong on the ground. He stared at Lin Kong's eyes with a condescending and indifferent look. When three-eyed corpse found that there was no desire to resist him in Lin Kong's eyes, a trace of disdain appeared on his face. "Humans, this kind of creature is really weak." In order to prevent accidents, the three-eyed corpse used his superpower, human control, to inject an idea into Lin Kong's brain, which was, "I will be your master from now on." Lin Kong looked at the three-eyed corpse's purple eyes, and immediately felt a pain in his head. Then, 2 huge Chinese characters appeared in Lin Kong's brain. These 2 words were slave. When the word slave was injected into Lin Kong's brain, Lin Kong immediately lowered his eyelids and bowed to the three-eyed corpse, and said, "Master." Chapter 334 Zhu Linyan's brain. Hearing the word master, the hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse nodded indifferently. Shenzhou looked at Lin Kong, who had become a slave, and showed a happy expression. "Haha, do you think that becoming a slave is the end? Haha, no, this is exactly the beginning of your nightmare." When three-eyed corpse made Lin Kong his slave, Lin Kong couldn't even commit suicide. Since he controlled Lin Kong, three-eyed corpse could let Lin Kong give him the strange black ball for use. Hutilda. The 7 black balls flew obediently to the side of three-eyed corpse. Lin Kong had already given the 7 black balls in order. From now on, they would listen to three-eyed corpse, and three-eyed corpse would be your new master. Three-eyed corpse stepped on the 7 black balls and tried to fly for a while, and found that it was very smooth and fast. On his originally indifferent face, he couldn't help but reveal a trace of joy. Lin Kong looked at the back of the three-eyed corpse, flying in the air on the 7 black balls, and a smug look appeared in the depths of his eyes. Why was he so smug? Because Lin Kong was excited to find that the word slave injected into him by the three-eyed corpse could not control himself at all. In Lin Kong's mind, the word slave was completely wrapped in green flames. In other words, Lin Kong was not controlled by the three-eyed corpse at all. For Lin Kong, this was absolutely great news. The three-eyed corpse thought that his superpowers controlled Lin Kong's actions, so in this case, the three-eyed corpse's vigilance against Lin Kong would inevitably decrease. The three-eyed corpse could not pay attention to Lin Kong's actions all the time. Therefore, Lin Kong could take the opportunity to escape when the three-eyed corpse was careless. However, before escaping, Lin Kong still had to figure out the most critical mystery. Why can this three-eyed corpse come out of his stomach? Only by solving this mystery, and only by preventing the three-eyed corpse from coming out of his stomach, can Lin Kong completely escape the pursuit of the three-eyed corpse. Therefore, Lin Kong cannot escape now. He has to continue to endure for a while, and he has to let Shenzhou be arrogant for a few more days. Lin Kong quietly turned his head and cast his eyes into the bushes. In the bushes in the distance, a plastic bag was lying there quietly. This plastic bag had just fallen from the top of the 7 black balls. The plastic bag contained the remaining 6 pounds of magic winter melon. The 6 pounds of magic winter melon were enough for Lin Kong to obtain 6 strands of spiritual energy again, and then become a new human of level 1, thereby obtaining superpowers. I hope that the superpowers I will obtain tomorrow will be helpful to my current situation, Lin Kong prayed in his heart. The grass was so lush that neither Three-Eyed Corpse nor Shenzhou noticed the plastic bag containing the magic winter melon. Under Lin Kong's instructions, the forest pterosaur quietly approached the plastic bag. Then, he tiptoed and dragged the plastic bag into the sewer through the drainage hole on the ground. When the plastic bag containing the winter melon was safely hidden in a hidden corner of the sewer, Lin Kong breathed a sigh of relief. Obviously, through the conversation between Three-Eyed Corpse and Shenzhou just now, Lin Kong knew that he would be taken to the gathering place in Xiong City. At that time, Lin Kong could let the forest pterosaur quietly take the plastic bag of magic winter melon to the gathering place, and then deliver the magic winter melon to Lin Kong's hands. In this way, Lin Kong could eat the winter melon smoothly. However, when the forest pterosaur came to the sewer, he made an unexpected discovery. Zhu Linian's head also happened to fall into the sewer. Of course, Lin Kong thought Zhu Linian had died a long time ago, so he didn't care about her head. After a while, Hutilda, Three-Eyed Corpse, stepped on the 7 black balls and floated next to Shenzhou. Let's go, Shenzhou, let's go back to the gathering place. Yeah, okay. Shenzhou stretched out a hand, grabbed the bruised and battered Lin Kong's neck, and lifted Lin Kong up like a chicken. As a level 4 new human, Shenzhou naturally had no effort to grab a 100-pound Lin Kong. Shenzhou threw the bruised and battered Lin Kong onto the 7 black balls casually. Bang! Lin Kong hit the surface of the 7 black balls heavily. With such a heavy impact, the wound that Lin Kong had just stopped bleeding with great difficulty broke again. He couldn't help but let out a wail of Hutilda. Hearing Lin Kong's wail, Shenzhou's face looked quite happy. Shenzhou was about to jump up from the ground, but at this moment, there was a rustling sound from the bushes next to him. Shenzhou turned her head to look. Lin Kong was shocked. The original text is on Liu number 9/. Could it be that the forest pterosaur wanted to disobey his orders and come to save him? As soon as this thought came out, Lin Kong's heart immediately became worried. He knew that the forest pterosaur was no match for the Three-Eyed Corpse. There was no fire of life in the right eye of the forest pterosaur that could revive her, and Lin Kong didn't want the forest pterosaur to die in vain. However, Lin Kong sensed the existence of the forest pterosaur in his heart, and fortunately found that the forest pterosaur was still quietly hiding in the sewer. It didn't come to the bushes on the ground at all. So, what was the movement in the bushes? Buzzed Tilda. Shenzhou directly released her suppression force towards the bushes. Suddenly, the movement in the bushes disappeared. Shenzhou took a machete, pushed aside the lush grass, and walked to the place where the noise just came from. It turned out to be a mutant gecko. Shenzhou picked up the gecko in the grass. It didn't move at all, and was firmly bound by Shenzhou's suppression. Obviously, the level of this gecko did not reach level 3. Puff. Shenzhou said nothing, and directly cut off the head of the mutant gecko with a knife. Snap! The head of the gecko just happened to roll into the sewer. Shenzhou threw the body of the gecko casually. Then, he jumped onto the 7 black balls and went to the gathering place in Xiong City with Three-Eyed Corpse and Lin Kong. However, what Shenzhou never expected was that the mutant gecko was not dead, because the superpower of the gecko was rebirth after broken tail. For the gecko that has not yet mutated, it only takes a few days for the tail to grow back after it is broken. After the gecko mutated, its ability to regenerate after a broken tail became even more abnormal and awesome. How awesome is it? It is so awesome that as long as the head is intact, it can grow the rest of the body again. In the small waterway, the wound under the head of the mutant gecko was rapidly growing new flesh and bones. In about 3 minutes, swish, 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 the mutant gecko could already walk freely in the sewer. Yes, it has completely recovered. The mutant gecko originally wanted to leave directly. However, it smelled a special fragrance. Following this charming fragrance, the mutant gecko came to a round object, and this round object happened to be Zulinian's head. Chapter 335 Zulinian's Resurrection. In the sewer, after Lin Kong was taken away by the three-eyed corpse, the forest pterosaur followed closely, dragging a large bag of magic watermelons and flying towards the gathering place in Ziyang City. Therefore, in the sewer now, no one noticed that the mutant gecko approached Zulinian's head. The eyes in Zulinian's head had obviously lost the color of life and turned into a dead and dark color. However, as the most beautiful woman on earth, Zulinian's body would emit a unique fragrance even if she died. This fragrance would have a fatal attraction to all male animals. Once, when Zulinian was surrounded by a large group of zombies, it was thousands of male animals such as ants, snakes, centipedes, and mice that protected her firmly. It was with the protection of countless male animals and men that Zulinian could walk without scruples in the end of the world. It was because of her beautiful appearance that even the president who was determined to save the world was willing to accept Zulinian, who had less combat experience, as the soldier team leader. Even though all the members of the soldier team died, the president did not have the heart to blame this stunning beauty Zulinian. How could such a perfect woman be killed easily by Lin Kong? She was a super lucky woman blessed by God. So, even after she died for several hours, she still got a chance to revive. This chance of revival was the mutated gecko that fell into the sewer. The superpower of this mutant gecko is rebirth after broken tail. Moreover, it is a super abnormal and enhanced version of rebirth after broken tail. As long as the brain is intact, its body can grow out super fast in just a few seconds. When this male mutant gecko saw Zulinian's head and found that Zulinian's life had disappeared, it actually took the initiative to get into Zulinian's mouth. Then, the spiritual core in the mutant gecko's brain floated out. This spiritual core emitted a warm white light. Puff. This spiritual core went straight through Zulinian's mouth and entered Zulinian's brain. Finally, something amazing happened. The spiritual core of this gecko actually combined with Zulinian's brain. At the moment of combination, a violent white light burst out from it. Suddenly, the entire dark sewer was illuminated. At the same time, the originally dead brain in Zulinian's head was full of vitality again, and Zulinian's two gray eyes, which had not closed their eyes, also showed a hint of life in an instant. Moved. Zulinian's clear pupils began to move. Then, there were wet tears flowing in her eye sockets. Then, Zulinian's eyes showed a puzzled look. She blinked a few times and looked at the dark surroundings in great confusion. As a level 4 new human, she could naturally ignore the dark environment. She found that this was a sewer. But, how could I be in a small waterway? Woo woo. Just as Zulinian was about to speak, she found that there seemed to be something soft in her mouth, and she spit it out. Oh my God, what is this disgusting thing? With doubts, Zulinian looked closely and found that the disgusting thing in her mouth just now was actually a gecko. Damn gecko, you actually got into my mouth. It's so disgusting, I must step on you to death. Zulinian certainly didn't know that it was this mutant gecko that sacrificed its life to save her. On the contrary, Zulinian wanted to step on this life-saving tiger to death. However, when Zulinian wanted to get up and step on the mutant gecko to death, she was horrified to find, where are my hands? Where are my legs? Why do I only have a head left? Yes, at present, only Zulinian's head has recovered. Her body has not grown out yet. When Zulinian found that she only had a head left, she finally remembered that she was killed by Lin Kong. Damn it, I thought the death just now was just a dream, but I didn't expect that I was actually killed. Damn it, that triangular green-skinned man is so brave that he dared to sneak attack me. I must skin that damn man alive. Zulinian was furious. With only one head, she roared madly in the dark waterway. So, here comes the question, how can Zulinian, who only has one head left, seek revenge on that hateful triangular green-skinned man? It's very simple, just let the body grow again. The mutant gecko is just a level 2 mutant beast. It has just used up the power of its spirit core, allowing Zulinian's brain to revive. Therefore, The mutant spirit core of the gecko can no longer provide Zhu Linian with the spiritual energy to grow a new body. However, Zhu Linian, who only has one head left, has no way to find food. Without food, there is no way to restore the spiritual energy of the mutated spiritual core. Without spiritual energy, there is no way to grow the rest of the body. Without hands and feet, Zhu Linian is left with a bare head, and there is no way to find food. It seems that she is trapped in a dead loop. However, Zhu Linian is the most beautiful woman in the world. She can easily break such a dilemma, because after she is resurrected, the fragrance emitted from her head will become many times stronger than the one emitted after death. This charming and rich fragrance, along with the breeze, spreads everywhere in the dark and smelly sewer. Then, rustling, from far to near, the sound of various animals crawling came over. Zhu Linian's eyes focused, and he immediately saw the source of the sound clearly. It was thousands of rats, snakes, centipedes and other animals. When these male animals smelled the fragrance emanating from Zhu Linian, they immediately ran over like crazy. Of course, these male animals, like men on Earth, will not harm Zhu Linian. On the contrary, they will do their best to protect Zhu Linian, just like the gecko that silently sacrificed and was willing to devote itself. These loyal male animals would go through fire and water to protect Zhu Linian's life. They were even willing to sacrifice their precious lives for Zhu Linian. Life. Yes, the reason why Zhu Linian summoned these male animals was to harvest their lives. Line up for me, come one by one, and put them all in my mouth. Zhu Linian opened her mouth. Now Zhu Linian has no hands or feet, so she can only obtain the lives of these male animals by eating. Puff. A mouse came to Zhu Linian's mouth, and Zhu Linian bit it hard, holding back the feeling of nausea. The mouse died immediately. The original text is available at Liu number 9/. However, the meager spiritual energy in the mouse was completely absorbed by Zhu Linian. After absorbing the mouse's spiritual energy, Zhu Linian quickly vomited the mouse's corpse. It's so disgusting. It's really disgusting. Oh my god, I want to vomit. Zhu Linian frowned her beautiful eyebrows. She hated the dead mouse very much. Although the mouse gave her a precious life, but, for Zhu Linian, the mouse was just a tool. Just like those men on Earth, they were just tools that could be thrown away at will after being used. When thinking of tools, Zhu Linian couldn't help but think of the triangle green-skinned man, that idiot. As a tool man, he didn't have the awareness of a tool man at all, and he dared to sneak attack me. Damn it. Zhu Linian hated Lin Kong who killed her. She had to peel Lin Kong's skin, cut Lin Kong's flesh, and drink Lin Kong's blood. Driven by strong anger, Zhu Linian endured the nausea in his mind and ordered another centipede close to him. You, come and die. The centipede had no idea of resisting. It ran to Zhu Linian's mouth. Zhu Linian used the same method to bite the centipede to death, and then absorb the centipede's spiritual energy. In fact, this method of swallowing spiritual energy was not something Zhu Linian learned temporarily, but a skill she would have used. As mentioned earlier, almost every new human superpower has hidden skills. For example, Fanguonen's communication with beasts can not only talk to animals such as rabbits and mice. Moreover, Fanguonen can also know the value of the excrement of mutant beasts. Therefore, Fanguonen can grow all kinds of magical plants. For example, Wu Fei's superpower, Rage of the Earth, can not only use the earth to create various earth cones and earth pillars to attack the enemy, but also directly build an earthen house. Changing the terrain is the surface ability of Wrath of the Earth, while the hidden ability of Wrath of the Earth is to sense the fluctuations of the earth. This keen perception can sense footsteps several kilometers away. Even Wu Fei can accurately sense how many ants there are on the mount hundreds of meters away through Wrath of the Earth. Such an important perception ability is exactly what Lin Kong is looking at. After talking about the superpowers of Wu Fei and Fanguonen, the next step is to introduce the hidden skill of Zhu Linian's superpower, Queen of Beasts. The name of this hidden skill is Spiritual Devouring. This is a very simple and easy to understand name, and the effect is also simple and crude, that is, to devour the spiritual energy in other organisms, so as to restore one's own spiritual energy as soon as possible. Suppose Zhu Linyun's spiritual energy is used up, then she can devour the spiritual energy in the other party's body through various methods such as killing people, killing animals, and killing zombies, so as to instantly restore the spiritual energy. In other words, if it is a continuous battle, Zhu Linyun has almost inexhaustible spiritual energy. However, in the battle with Lin Kong, Zhu Linyun did not use the hidden ability of Beast Queen, spiritual devouring, at all, and was killed by Lin Kong with one punch. For Zhu Linyun, this is really a frustrating story. However, hahaha, didn't expect it. Triangular green-skinned man, I'm alive again. Zhu Linyun smiled triumphantly while constantly devouring the spiritual energy in the bodies of the surrounding male animals. With spiritual energy, she can use the gecko's superpower, rebirth after broken tail, to grow her body again. It is worth mentioning that when the gecko's mutant spiritual core merged with Zhu Linyun's brain, Zhu Linyun immediately realized the gecko's superpower, rebirth after broken tail. Just as simple as eating and drinking, Zhu Linyun can easily activate the superpower of rebirth after broken tail. With the activation of this ability, Zhu Linyun's neck began to grow fresh flesh, blood vessels, bones, nerves, trachea and other things at a speed visible to the naked eye. After the neck was finished growing, Zhu Linyun grew shoulders, chest, arms. When one of Zhu Linyun's arms was fully grown, the speed at which she absorbed spiritual energy greatly increased. Pa 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 pa. Zhu Linyun raised her arms and slapped the rats, centipedes, snakes and other animals frantically. As these male animals continued to die, white spiritual energy, like a backflowing river, rushed into Zhu Linyun's brain. With a large amount of spiritual energy replenished, Zhu Linyun could unscrupulously activate the ability of rebirth after broken tail, so that her body could grow out as soon as possible. After only 20 minutes, Zhu Linyun had completely grown her body. Not only her body, but also Zhu Linyun's 4 spiritual energy beads were spinning in her danshin. Her strength has also been fully restored. Not only has her strength returned to the peak state before her death, but Zhu Linyun has also obtained a very perverted superpower by chance, rebirth after broken tail. Of course, Zhu Linyun would not feel any gratitude towards the mutant gecko, because this is what those lickers should do. Zhu Linyun always believed that all the men in the world, all the male animals on the earth, were just lickers who flattered her. They should have unconditionally dedicated their humble lives to her. Since saving her life was the duty of these lickers, Zhu Linyun certainly would not be grateful to them. Not only was she not grateful, but Zhu Linyun also walked to the side of the mutant gecko. She raised her foot and stepped on it with all her strength. Puff! The mutant gecko was immediately stepped into a ball of meat mud. Because the behavior of this gecko drilling into Zhu Linyun's mouth really made Zhu Linyun feel extremely disgusted. Now that she has grown strong feet again, she naturally wants to step on this wretched gecko to death. Although Zhu Linyun's feet were grown through the gecko's superpower, rebirth after tail cutting. This feels great. Zhu Linyun let out a long breath. Looking down, she looked at her bloody hands and her long, white legs with great satisfaction. The surviving male animals all prostrated themselves on the ground, respectfully welcoming Zhu Linyun's new life. A breeze blew by, and Zhu Linyun felt a chill on her body. Well, before I go kill that damn Lin Kong, I have to find some clothes. After saying that, Zhu Linyun jumped with all her strength and rushed directly out of the sewer. Chapter 336. Save zombies or save people? This time, Zhu Linyun found a white dress. Zhu Linyun likes red. This time, the reason why she specially found a white dress was to use Lin Kong's blood to dye the white dress red. After putting on the clothes, the next problem Zhu Linyun faced was how to find that damn Lin Kong. The answer is simple: rely on ants. As mentioned earlier, Zhu Linyun's superpower, Queen of Beasts, can enslave ordinary beasts into pets. And no matter where the enslaved pet goes, Zhu Linyun can sense the approximate location of the pet through Queen of Beasts. Before, Zhu Linyun turned all 4 Quetzalcoatl and Tornado Pterosaur into pets. So, when Tornado Pterosaur disappeared, Zhu Linian could quickly and accurately find the tornado pterosaur that was rescued by Lin Kong. However, now Zhu Linian found that the slavery marks on the Quetzalcoatl tornado pterosaur had disappeared. She couldn't rely on the power of the Queen of Beasts to find the 5 pterosaurs. Therefore, Zhu Linian had to think of another way. Fortunately, after being ambushed by Lin Kong, Zhu Linian secretly let an ordinary ant climb onto Lin Kong's calf. In addition, Zhu Linian let the ant bite the trouser leg of Lin Kong's calf tightly. The ant bit the trouser leg, so Lin Kong certainly didn't notice this humble ant that had not mutated at all. In fact, the original intention of Zhu Linian to arrange this ant was just to prevent Lin Kong from escaping. Once Lin Kong escaped, Zhu Linian could track him with the ant attached to Lin Kong's trouser leg. However, what Zhu Linian didn't expect was that Lin Kong actually killed her. She didn't expect that the triangular green man was so insidious and cunning. But fortunately, even if her head was chopped off, she was still blessed by God and was reborn. And the ant attached to Lin Kong's trouser leg can also play its role. Of course, that ant was just an ordinary ant, without the protection of spiritual energy. Therefore, when Fang Guonan released the suppression force, the ant on the trouser leg had died immediately, because Zhu Linian gave a death order. Although the ant had been killed by Fang Guonan's suppression force, the ant's mouth was still tightly biting Lin Kong's trouser leg. In other words, the body of the ant still remained on Lin Kong's trouser leg. Afterwards, the three-eyed corpse came out of Lin Kong's stomach, and Shen Zhu tortured Lin Kong again. However, neither the three-eyed corpse nor Shen Zhu noticed the body of the ant on Lin Kong's trouser leg. Of course, even if they noticed the tiny ant, they probably wouldn't care. After all, an ant that had not mutated could not cause any harm to the level 6, three-eyed corpse, and the level 4 Shen Zhu. Therefore, the body of the ant was completely preserved on Lin Kong's trouser leg. Although the ant was dead, Zhu Linian could still sense the approximate location of the ant through the Queen of Beasts. Huh? So you went to the north. Zhu Linian closed his eyes and felt for a while, and soon found out the location of the ant. Knowing the location of the ant, Zhu Linian also knew the location of Lin Kong. Because Zhu Linian was dead, she didn't know what happened later. Not only did she not know about the level 6, three-eyed corpse, but she also didn't know about the existence of the level 4 forest pterosaur. Of course, she didn't know that Lin Kong had been captured by the three-eyed corpse. Zhu Linian thought that Lin Kong was going to the gathering place in Xiong City to find a way to break through to level 4. Since she knew Lin Kong's location, Zhu Linian chased after him without hesitation. She didn't think she couldn't beat the triangular green-skinned man Lin Kong. She just thought that her previous failure was purely because the cunning Lin Kong attacked her. If she fought head-on, she would definitely be able to beat that hateful guy. As for how the slavery mark on the Fengshan pterosaur and the hurricane pterosaur suddenly disappeared, Zhu Linian didn't think much about it. Who cares? Anyway, I just want to kill that bastard. Zhu Linian didn't realize the gap between herself and Lin Kong at all. She didn't have any fear. She just wanted to catch up with Lin Kong and kill him to vent her anger. Tactics? The strength of the enemy and us is poor? There is no such thing. Just fight head-on and it will be over. Zhu Linian was like an angry little cow. She rushed to where Lin Kong was without any scruples. The reason why Zhu Linian had such a reckless behavior was that Zhu Linian grew up in a pampered environment. She had suffered too little social beating. Therefore, for Lin Kong, the resurrected Zhu Linian had almost no threat. Even if Zhu Linian caught up with Lin Kong, he would probably be killed by Lin Kong in seconds. Now, Lin Kong's main enemy is still the level 6, three-eyed corpse. Level 6 mutant zombies were still too powerful for Lin Kong, who had a level 4 forest pterosaur. Lin Kong could only temporarily endure and wait for the opportunity to counterattack. In the sky, Lin Kong ordered the 7 black balls to fly quickly to the center of Xiong City at a speed of 100 meters per second. The survivor gathering place also landed in the center of Xiong City. However, unlike other gathering places, the leader of this survivor gathering place was a zombie. Looking down, Shen Zhu saw the 188-story central building in the city center. "We're here, don't fly inside," There are anti-aircraft missiles inside. Shenzhou nodded to Lin Kong, signaling the latter to descend. Lin Kong didn't dare to resist. He still had to pretend to be controlled by the three-eyed corpse. Hutilda, the 7 black balls carrying Lin Kong, Shenzhou, and the hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse, landed at the gate of the gathering place. Inside the gathering place, anti-aircraft missiles were installed. Once the mutated birds wanted to rush directly into the gathering place, they would be attacked by anti-aircraft missiles. Therefore, Shenzhou could only let Lin Kong enter through the main gate of the gathering place. Although Three-Eyed Corpse was the leader of the entire gathering place, he did not ask to fly in directly from a high altitude. Three-Eyed Corpse, Shenzhou, and Lin Kong flew from the main gate of the gathering place on the 7 black balls. The bleeding of Lin Kong's wounds had stopped long ago, and he had almost recovered. Shenzhou looked at Lin Kong, who had recovered, and wanted to take out a machete to torture him again. However, when she thought of where Lin Kong was going, Shenzhou resisted the desire to continue to torture Lin Kong. She bent down and looked at Lin Kong with gloating. "You will go to hell later." Lin Kong pretended to show some fear to satisfy Shenzhou's intimidation. In fact, Lin Kong was quite calm. He secretly turned his eyes and observed the situation in this gathering place. Only after observing the terrain well, Lin Kong could come up with the best retreat plan. The wall of this gathering place is not very high. Even a level 3 new human can easily climb over it. The defense of the gate is also weak, with only some level 1 new humans. Lin Kong looked at the high level 6 of the Three-Eyed Corpse, and thought that the people in the Xiong City gathering place were of a very high level. As a result, when Lin Kong came in and observed, he found that the people in the gathering place were still more ordinary people who had not awakened. Level 1 and Level 2 new humans. Second, Level 3 new humans are rare. Along the way, Lin Kong did not see even a Level 4 new human. However, Level 4 new humans are more difficult to distinguish. If Lin Kong does not sense the other parties or at close range, he cannot really distinguish the other party's strength. Therefore, it is very likely that Lin Kong has seen a Level 4 new human, but he could not recognize it. If Zi Wang, who has a perspective eye, is around, Lin Kong can easily obtain the strength distribution of the people in this gathering place. If Li Minutes, who possesses, dead or not, is around, Lin Kong can easily obtain a lot of useful information through a senior staff member of the gathering place. The original text can be read in Liu number 9 at book/bar. If, unfortunately, there is no if in reality. Lin Kong is now back to fighting alone, and his teammates are staying in a school gymnasium. In short, in the entire Xiong City gathering place, there are probably only 1 or 2 level 6 beings like Three-Eyed Corpse. There are probably hundreds of level 4 beings like Shenzhou in the gathering place, and this is just people. Next, Lin Kong also discovered something that surprised him extremely. There were mutant zombies swaggering on the street. It was probably a level 3 mutant zombie, because its pupils were normal. However, when it opened its lips and laughed at a woman, Lin Kong saw the sharp teeth in the guy's mouth. Judging from the teeth, it was obvious that it was not a normal human, but a mutant zombie. The people around saw the mutant zombie passing by and had no intention of attacking. Moreover, the low-level humans did not show a very frightened expression when they saw this level 3 mutant zombie. They just lowered their heads and left the mutant zombie with a slightly scared expression. It seems that it is a very normal thing for mutant zombies to walk on the street. Lin Kong continued to let the 7 black balls follow Shenzhou's instructions and continue to fly forward. Then, Lin Kong saw more mutant zombies. Some of them walked shoulder to shoulder with ordinary people. Looking at a harmonious gathering place, Lin Kong felt that his 3 views were being shaken violently. Could it be? Do humans and zombies really coexist? When this question popped into his mind, suddenly, there was a commotion not far ahead. Some humans screamed and fled. There was also a dong 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 vibration sound. Lin Kong stretched his neck and looked carefully, and found that it was a sturdy wild boar that broke free from the cage where it was imprisoned. It was probably a mutant wild boar, because Lin Kong found that the wild boar was 2 meters tall. What is a 2-meter tall wild boar? It is equivalent to a wild boar as big as a van. A wild boar of this size must weigh at least more than 10 tons. This huge wild boar has a black pig skin. At the corners of its mouth, 2 fangs curved upwards emerged. There was some bright red blood on the fangs, and it looked like it had just disemboweled several pedestrians. This black mutant wild boar was rampaging on the street, and its 4 pig hooves stepped on the ground, making a dong 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 sound, when running at full speed. The surrounding ground was shaking slightly. As mentioned earlier, ordinary people accounted for the vast majority of the human beings in this Zhejiang city. Therefore, facing a crazy mutant wild boar, many people were unable to escape and were knocked to the ground, spitting blood, and there were no powerful new humans around to subdue the mutant black wild boar in time. Seeing the tragic scene on the street, Shenzhou immediately anxiously ordered Lin Kong, "Quick, fly over quickly, I want to kill the wild boar." Lin Kong thought Shenzhou wanted to save those ordinary people who were injured, so he let the 7 black balls speed up and quickly approached the mutant wild boar. At this time, a woman was running away in fear. The mutant wild boar was chasing behind the woman. About 2 seconds later, the woman would be caught up by the black wild boar, and then pierced by the 2 fangs of the wild boar. However, Shenzhou jumped off the 7 black balls in time. Lin Kong estimated Shenzhou's speed and the distance between the woman and the black wild boar. Obviously, as a level 4 new human, Shenzhou was fully capable of saving the poor woman within 2 seconds. And the actual situation was just as Lin Kong expected. After Shenzhou jumped off the 7 black balls, it took only 1 second to rush to the side of the woman. She only needed to grab it with her hand to save the poor woman. The terrified woman saw the powerful Shenzhou rushing to her side quickly, and a glimmer of hope appeared in her eyes. However, the next scene directly extinguished the glimmer of hope in the woman's eyes. Shenzhou, wearing a white sportswear, actually ran straight past the woman. The woman's head was full of question marks. Lin Kong was also very puzzled. After Shenzhou left the woman, she ran directly to a cracked bar. The bar had just been hit by a mutant wild boar, so the huge sign at the door of the bar was shaking constantly, and it seemed that it would fall down soon. And under the huge sign, there happened to be a zombie whose feet were pressed by stones and could not move. In other words, the huge sign that was about to fall at any time was likely to fall down and explode the zombie's head. Although the poor woman was about to be hit to death by the mutant wild boar, however, Shenzhou decisively chose to save the zombie under the huge sign. After all, Shenzhou regarded the zombie as her most precious friend. Chapter 337 Becoming a Gladiator. Puff. The hard boar tusk directly pierced the woman who was running for her life. The woman's eyes were full of reluctance to life and deep fear of death. Lin Kong thought Shenzhou would save the woman, so he did not let the 7 black balls use 7 black freeze to stop the wild boar. When Lin Kong found out that the person Shenzhou really wanted to save was the zombie friend, it was too late for Lin Kong to let the 7 black balls activate 7 black freeze to save the poor woman. Ugh! The woman lowered her head and took a look at the thick boar tusk that emerged from her chest. She had no strength to struggle at all, because this thick and hard boar tusk had already pierced the woman's heart. A second later, the woman's head drooped and she died directly. After the mutant black wild boar pierced the woman, it continued to sprint forward. But at this time, the angry Shenzhou had already rushed over. Shenzhou could ignore the life and death of humans. However, this blind mutant wild boar almost killed a zombie. Shenzhou would not let this black wild boar off for such a hateful act. Taking a big step, Shenzhou shot at the mutant wild boar like a meteor. Then came a powerful kick. Bang! The huge wild boar, more than 2 meters tall and as big as a van, was kicked back by Shenzhou's kick that glowed white. Bang! The heavy black wild boar slammed into the wall. The wall that the black wild boar hit collapsed directly into pieces. A huge dust was stirred up. In the dust, the black wild boar's body twitched a few times, and then it stopped moving. Shenzhou saw that the black wild boar stopped moving, and then slowly retracted her foot. Seeing Shenzhou's heroic act of kicking the black wild boar to death, the people on the roadside applauded and praised. Awesome, awesome, really awesome. Just one kick to kill such a big wild boar. I know this beauty, she is Shenzhou, It is said that she is a level 4 new human. Hiss. Level 4 new human. Seeing this beauty with delicate features and harmless appearance, I didn't expect that she is actually a level 4 super strong. There are not many level 4 new humans in the Ziyang City gathering place, and the people on the roadside admire Shenzhou's strength. As for the fact that Shenzhou did not save the woman who escaped, everyone just pretended not to see it. In this day and age, the most uncommon thing is death. Moreover, the woman who just escaped was just an ordinary person without superpowers. This kind of burden died, so the people on the roadside basically did not feel sorry for her. Lin Kong also secretly showed a trace of pity for the woman whose chest and abdomen were pierced by the fangs. Indeed, in this day and age, human life is not valuable. Besides, Lin Kong can't save himself now, and he doesn't have the leisure time to pay attention to an irrelevant passerby. Keep flying forward. Shenzhou jumped onto the 7 black balls and ordered Lin Kong. Lin Kong did not resist and controlled the 7 black balls to continue flying. The dead black wild boar in the ruins was naturally handled by the corresponding staff. Under Shenzhou's instructions, Lin Kong controlled the 7 black balls to turn 2 or 3 corners and flew slowly for 3 or 4 minutes. They came to the periphery of a football field. He tilde, eat him, he tilde, oh tilde, tear off his head and bathe in his blood. Oh tilde, eat. Delicious. Oh. Before he could see the scene inside clearly, Lin Kong heard cheers like a tidal wave. However, if he carefully distinguished the cheers, he could find obvious zombie screams among them. Lin Kong was shocked. Are all of the spectators in the football field mutant zombies? Mutated zombies that can talk are at least level 3. Lin Kong heard the cheers from the football field and roughly estimated that there were at least thousands of level 3 zombies inside. This is too scary. Lin Kong couldn't believe his guess. However, when Shenzhou escorted Lin Kong and entered through the small door next to him, Lin Kong walked on the edge of the football field and saw the scene inside through the stainless steel railings. After seeing the scene inside clearly, Lin Kong's pupils shrank instantly. How could there be so many high-level zombies? There were densely packed people on the audience seats in the football field. The eyes of those people were all emitting red bloodthirsty light. This is the sign of zombies. They screamed and showed their sharp teeth while cheering loudly. When Lin Kong saw the row of sharp teeth, he once again confirmed their zombie identity. Hearing the zombie screams mixed in their speech, Lin Kong could be 100% sure that the level of these zombies was at least level 3. Moreover, the number is not just a few thousand. Based on the size of this football field, Lin Kong casually estimated that there are about 30,000 or 40,000 level 3 mutant zombies here. Hiss. Thinking of the 30,000 or 40,000 level 3 zombies, Lin Kong couldn't help but take a deep breath of cold air, and a chill ran down his spine. Moreover, because he couldn't get close to dispel them, Lin Kong didn't know how many level 4 zombies there were among the 30,000 or 40,000 mutant zombies, let alone how many terrifying level 5 zombies there were. Although he didn't know the exact number, but even if Lin Kong used his toes to think, he could understand that the number of level 4 and level 5 zombies was definitely not a small number. No wonder the three-eyed corpse was a level 6 mutant zombie. Among the 30,000 or 40,000 high-level zombies, not only would there be a large number of level 4 and level 5 zombies, but there would certainly be a terrifying level 6 zombie. Looking at so many high-level zombies in the stands of the football stadium, Lin Kong couldn't help but have a horrifying guess in his mind. There might even be more than one level 6 zombie like the three-eyed zombie in this Ziyang City gathering place. Powerlessness. A deep powerlessness enveloped Lin Kong's body. He couldn't help but have doubts in his heart. Can I really escape successfully from this Ziyang City gathering place? After a slight hesitation in his heart, Lin Kong quickly became firm. I can't doubt myself anymore. I must escape, because my mother Liu Hong is in the president's laboratory, waiting for me to rescue her. There are only 29 days left. Not only do I have to escape, but I must also find a way to escape as soon as possible. After strengthening his belief, Lin Kong retracted his gaze from the stands of the football stadium. By the way, It is worth mentioning that the reason why the zombies in the stands were shouting and screaming was because there were 7 or 8 humans fighting each other in the football field. Blood, meat, and body parts were splattered wildly on the green grass in the football field. Read the original text in Liu number 9 / humans are killing each other, which is really exciting for those zombies who like human flesh. Lin Kong and Shenzhou walked in the corridor for a while and came to a lounge. Although it is called a lounge, it actually exudes a strong smell of blood. Lin Kong looked over and found that it was the gladiators who had just finished fighting. Their muscles bulged and looked very strong. Their bodies were covered with bright red blood. That was all human blood. Because the blood of zombies is black, the strong smell of blood in the lounge made Shenzhou frown. She pinched her nose and shouted at a person in the corner, "Hey, rabbit mouth, get over here." The person in the corner was a young man with a pointed mouth and monkey cheeks. His mouth was cracked in the middle, like the 3-petal mouth of a rabbit. As soon as Rabbit Mouth saw Shenzhou's figure, he ran over with a smile on his face. "Hey, isn't this Miss Shen? What a rare guest." Shenzhou pinched her nose with one hand and pointed at Lin Kong with the other hand and said, "This new guy is handed over to you. Train him well for me. I want him to die, but I can't let him die too easily. Do you understand? I want him to die, but I can't let him die too easily." The rabbit-mouth young man was stunned at first, then patted his chest and guaranteed, "Oh, I understand, Ms. Shen. Don't worry, it's all right. I promise to make this kid live a life worse than death." Shenzhou knew the means of rabbit-mouth, and after getting the latter's guarantee, she immediately turned around and left. The smell in this lounge was so bad that Shenzhou didn't want to stay any longer. If Shenzhou didn't want to stay, she could leave. However, Lin Kong couldn't leave easily, because Lin Kong had become a 0-level new human. The triceratops on his body had long been stripped away under the order of the 3-eyed corpse. The triceratops and the 7 black balls were confiscated by the 3-eyed corpse and became its pets. In order not to expose his secret of being able to escape control, Lin Kong could only give orders to the triceratops and the 7 black balls, asking them to obediently follow all the instructions of the 3-eyed corpse. Without the triceratops, Lin Kong was a complete weakling. The only thing that could give him a sense of security was the 4 strands of white spiritual energy in his danshan. Only when he reached 10 strands of spiritual energy could Lin Kong become a level 1 new human. Only then could he have his own superpowers. The rabbit-mouthed youth next to Lin Kong was probably level 3 in strength. Most of the other gladiators in the lounge were also level 1 and 2 new humans. New humans of higher levels would not be considered gladiators. Level 4 new humans were too dangerous. The 3-eyed corpse would not allow these strong men to fight in the football. What if they escaped? The new humans are full of tricks. Although there are also level 5 mutant zombies in the gathering place, it is still very difficult to chase a level 4 new human who is running away. Of course, if the level 6, 3-eyed zombie, personally goes out, it will naturally be able to catch up with a level 4 new human. However, it is impossible for the 3-eyed zombie to keep an eye on a group of level 4 new humans every day. Therefore, the level 4 new humans are either imprisoned in a very strict place or have been eaten by the 3-eyed zombies. Only level 1 and level 2 new humans will enter the football field and become a gladiator who kills other humans. Now, Lin Kong, who is level 0, is about to become a gladiator who provides entertainment for the zombies. The rabbit-mouth youth next to him has the strength of level 3. Once his suppression power is released, Lin Kong will have no power to resist without exposing the Overlord flame. Therefore, from now on, Lin Kong can only obey all the instructions of this rabbit-mouth youth. The rabbit-mouth youth also knew that Lin Kong could not bear his suppression at all. He walked forward, held the more than 1 meter long black iron whip in his hand, and waved it in front of him. "Do you see this whip?" Lin Kong swallowed his saliva, pretended to be scared, nodded, and whispered, "I see it." On the surface, Lin Kong was scared. In fact, Lin Kong did not take a mere level 3 new human rabbit-mouth youth seriously at all. In the case of dinosaurs, Lin Kong could kill even level 4 new humans casually. This mere level 3 new human, for Lin Kong, was just a passerby who could be killed in one punch. Of course, There were no dinosaurs around Lin Kong now. He had lost the protection of the Triceratops, and the 7 black balls also served as the mount of the three-eyed corpse. The Tyrannosaurus rex that followed Lin Kong the earliest was also with Wu Fei, Li Minutes and others. Only a level 4 forest pterosaur was rushing here non-stop. Lin Kong sensed it a little and found that the forest pterosaur had arrived at the gate of the Xiong City gathering place. In order to prevent being discovered, Lin Kong could only command the forest pterosaur with his mind to temporarily hide in the grass outside the gathering place. There are quite a few level 4 and level 5 zombies in the gathering place. Although the forest pterosaur is fast, it is hard to guarantee that there will be no accidents. It is too dangerous during the day. So Lin Kong decided to let the forest pterosaur sneak in at night. Because Lin Kong and the dinosaurs have a two-way skill of communicating with each other, Lin Kong can sense the situation of the forest pterosaur, and the forest pterosaur can naturally sense Lin Kong's situation roughly. She knew that Lin Kong no longer had the protection of the Triceratops, and she also understood that Lin Kong was surrounded by multiple high-level enemies. The forest pterosaur was very anxious, and she wanted to rush in as soon as possible to protect Lin Kong's life. However, there was no way. Lin Kong had already given a death order. The forest pterosaur could only hang its head, drag a bag of 6 pounds of winter melon, and hide obediently in the grass outside the gathering place, waiting for the night to fall. And in the lounge of the football field, after the rabbit-mouthed youth finished asking about the whip, he decisively gave Lin Kong a warning. Snap! The rabbit-mouthed youth raised the iron whip and whipped Lin Kong fiercely. Lin Kong couldn't help but let out a scream. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 338 Lin Kong's Combat Strength 250. Lin Kong covered the bloody wound on his abdomen and quickly retreated to the corner to hide in fear. His eyes were full of fear for the rabbit-mouthed youth. The rabbit-mouthed youth looked at Lin Kong's frightened expression and enjoyed it very much. The pain of others was his greatest joy. So, he pressed forward again, swung the whip and whipped Lin Kong in the corner vigorously. Lin Kong was just a 0-level new human at the moment. Even if he wanted to dodge, he couldn't dodge the whip of a level 3 rabbit-mouthed youth. There was no way. Lin Kong could only shrink in the corner and kept making various miserable cries. The other gladiators around looked at Lin Kong's miserable appearance, and they all whispered and laughed happily. They all fought against it from the newcomers. Now seeing that this newcomer of Lin Kong was also being tortured by the rabbit-mouthed youth, they were full of gloating emotions in their hearts. When Lin Kong's whole body was torn apart, the rabbit-mouthed youth withdrew his hands. The rabbit-mouthed youth did not use all his strength. He had just used his spiritual energy to find out Lin Kong's strength through physical contact. When he found that there were only 4 strands of spiritual energy in Lin Kong's body, the rabbit-mouthed youth was also quite surprised. Such a low-level person actually angered the high and mighty Miss Shenzhou. He was really a kid who didn't know how to live or die. In order to prevent his whip from killing Lin Kong, the rabbit-mouthed youth only used 1/3 of his strength. Although it was only 1/3 of his strength, it was enough to whip Lin Kong to death, leaving only half of his life. After Lin Kong's body fell into a state of continuous bleeding, the live fire, hidden deep in his right eye, was ready to move. This green, live fire, was about to emerge from Lin Kong's eyes to treat Lin Kong. However, Lin Kong took the initiative to order this live fire not to treat his body. Overlord Flame and live fire are both Lin Kong's very important trump cards, and they cannot be easily exposed. Without the treatment of live fire, Lin Kong's self-healing ability as a new human at level 0 alone could not stop the bleeding of his body's wounds immediately. The rabbit-mouthed youth had just broken the artery in Lin Kong's body, so a steady stream of blood was gushing out of the wound. As more and more blood flowed out of his body, Lin Kong's face gradually turned pale as paper. Because of the excessive blood loss, Lin Kong's head was dizzy and he seemed to faint at any time. However, Lin Kong's willpower was very strong, and he could hold on for another 5 or 6 minutes. Detecting the disordered mental power in Lin Kong's mind, the live fire in his right eye was about to rush out. Lin Kong once again stopped the impulse of live fire. However, in order to prevent accidents, Lin Kong still gave live fire a safer order. Only when he fell into a coma, live fire could come out of his eyes to heal his body. After giving this order, Lin Kong rolled his eyes and fell to the ground. He fainted. To be precise, he was pretending to faint. At the moment, the floor around Lin Kong was covered with blood. In this situation, blood loss and shock were very normal. Although Lin Kong could hold on for another 5 or 6 minutes with his strong willpower, however, there was no need. Therefore, Lin Kong decided to pretend to faint to test the reaction of the rabbit-mouthed youth. When the rabbit-mouthed youth first saw Lin Kong collapsed on the ground, he did not take it seriously and just kicked him a few times. After finding that Lin Kong was still motionless, the rabbit-mouthed youth whipped Lin Kong twice with a whip. Lin Kong's endurance was so strong that when he faced the peerless beauty Zhu Linyun, he was already a ruthless man who could cut himself with a machete. Lin Kong didn't even frown when the whip hit him. The reason why Lin Kong wailed loudly before was all pretended. If he really endured it, even if the rabbit-mouthed youth stabbed a knife into Lin Kong's stomach, Lin Kong probably wouldn't blink an eye. In short, the rabbit-mouthed youth found that his whip was hitting Lin Kong, but there was no reaction at all. He immediately panicked. You, don't pretend to be dead. The rabbit-mouthed youth squatted down quickly, for he was afraid that Lin Kong would be beaten to death. He stretched out his finger and put it on Lin Kong's nostrils to sense it. Fortunately, this kid is still breathing. It seems that he should be in shock due to excessive blood loss. After the rabbit-mouthed youth found that Lin Kong's nostrils were still breathing slightly, he felt relieved, because, if Lin Kong died so simply, Shenzhou would definitely not let him go. But he patted his chest and promised Shenzhou he would make Lin Kong suffer before he died. Fortunately, it was just a false alarm. As long as Lin Kong has not been beaten to death by his whip, the rabbit-mouthed youth has a way to save him. Turning his head, he ordered an old man who was healing someone, "Old kin, come here and save this guy. If this guy dies, you won't live today." The white-haired old man was concentrating on stitching a strong man's wound. However, after hearing the words of the rabbit-mouthed young man, the old man Keen immediately put down his work and walked quickly to Lin Kong. Behind him, the strong man who had half of his wound sewn was about to attack. However, seeing that it was the order of the rabbit-mouthed young man, the strong man could only take the needlework box silently and sew up the wound on his body. The white-haired old man Kin squatted in front of Lin Kong. He adjusted the reading glasses on his nose and first lifted Lin Kong's eyelids to observe. Old man Kin was a serious doctor. As soon as he lifted Lin Kong's eyelids and saw the pupils, he instantly understood. This guy was pretending to faint. The pupils of a person who has really fainted are dilated, while Lin Kong's pupils are obviously in a very normal state. Therefore, Old man Kin immediately determined Lin Kong's true condition. However, he did not immediately report it to the rabbit-mouthed youth behind him. Old man Kin grabbed Lin Kong's wrist and felt his pulse. Although Lin Kong's pulse was relatively weak, it was very stable in the weakness. This stable and weak pulse once again proved Old man Kin's guess. The young man in front of him, who looked cowardly, was indeed pretending to faint. However, if this guy was pretending to faint, why didn't he even hum when the rabbit-mouthed youth whipped him with a whip just now? And before, this guy kept screaming loudly when facing the whip of the rabbit-mouthed youth. Old man Kin was very puzzled by Lin Kong's completely inconsistent performance. But suddenly, Old man Kin thought of a possibility. This possibility made Old man Kin freeze in place. His heart was full of surprise. Could it be that this guy has been pretending all along? Could it be that this guy is not afraid of the whip of the rabbit-mouthed youth? However, this guy is just a zero-level new human. How can he have such strong endurance? Old man Kin is a doctor. He just looked at the blood flowing on the ground and roughly estimated that if it was a normal human, he would have been in shock due to excessive bleeding. However, this guy is still awake. Old man Kin originally wanted to turn around and report Lin Kong's condition to the rabbit-mouthed youth. However, Old Man Kin suddenly felt that he was being stared at by something terrible. When he turned his head, he saw Lin Kong's cold eyes like a venomous snake. This cold eyes made Old Man Kin feel a chill behind him. Old Man Kin's mouth, which was about to open, froze immediately. He knew that this guy who pretended to faint was warning him. If he told the rabbit-mouthed youth, maybe this guy who pretended to faint would attack me. As soon as he came into contact with Lin Kong's murderous eyes, Old Man Kin couldn't help but feel a deep fear. This fear was like the fear of a mouse to a cat. Old Man Kin did not dare to tell the rabbit-mouthed youth the truth. He just lowered his head, circulated his spiritual energy, and began to treat Lin Kong's injuries. While treating the wounded Lin Kong, Old Man Kin was thinking in his heart. The original text is available at Liu number 9 at book/bar. Why would I, a level 2 new human, be afraid of a level 0 new human? How strange. This really does not make sense. Although he knew the irrationality of the matter, Old Man Kin still did not expose Lin Kong's act of pretending to faint, because Old Man Kin knew the fact that he might not be able to beat this level 0 new human in front of him. This absurd conclusion was of course not a sudden conclusion drawn by Old Man Kin on a whim. Instead, it was told to him by Old Man Kin's superpowers. The superpowers of new humans are generally related to his experience. For example, Zhu Linyun's Queen of Beasts. When Zhu Linyun was besieged, all the men who protected her died. The rest were only animals like rats and snakes. After being protected by the animals, Zhu Linyun became a new human being, and the superpower he awakened was the Beast Queen, which was closely related to animals. At that time, those tens of thousands of rats and snakes were like loyal soldiers protecting the Queen Zhu Linyun. Therefore, it was a very reasonable match for Zhu Linyun to awaken the superpower of Beast Queen. And the superpower awakened by Old Man Kin, who used to be a doctor, was naturally related to treating patients. Body surface. This is Old Man Kin's superpower. The superpower of body surface was automatically awakened when Old Man Kin was treating a seriously injured patient. Old Man Kin did not practice deliberately, nor did he eat any precious items such as spirit cores. He awakened very suddenly and became a new human being. And then he immediately possessed the superpower, body surface. And after awakening this superpower, Old Man Kin instantly understood the use of body surface. Just like a person opens his eyes at birth, as long as the new human awakens his superpower, he will almost 100% understand the effect of the superpower immediately. As for the ability of Old Man Kin's body table, it is very simple to say. It is just a table. There are many items in this table. There are the number of red blood cells and white blood cells in the whole body, the content of calcium, iron, zinc, selenium and vitamins, and the distribution of various bacteria in the patient's body, and electrocardiograms, brain waves and so on will naturally appear in this magical table. In short, there are 4 words everything. For ordinary people, this body table is a densely packed, incomprehensible table. However, for a doctor, it is indeed very valuable information. Through this detailed table, Old Man Kin can analyze the cause of the patient's illness in a short time. With the superpower of body table, Old Man Kin can also treat patients more targeted and more efficiently. It is precisely because of the help of body table that Old Man Kin can be more sure that Lin Kong's fainting is definitely fake. The reason why Old Man Kin came to the conclusion that he might not be able to beat this guy who was pretending to be unconscious was because of one of the data in the body table. This data could not be detected by ordinary medical instruments. Only Old Man Kin's body table could successfully detect this data. This special data is comprehensive combat power. According to the display of the body table, Old Man Kin's own comprehensive combat power is 200. The combat power of an ordinary person is about 10. The combat power of a level 1 new human is about 100, and the comprehensive combat power of a level 2 new human is 200 for most people. However, this guy who pretended to be unconscious is obviously just a level 0 guy. However, according to the display of the body table, his comprehensive combat power is actually 250. This combat power is obviously 50 higher than that of Old Man Kin himself. Therefore, Old Man Kin felt very strange. The combat power of a level 0 new human is about 20, while this guy who pretended to be unconscious is as high as 250. This super high combat power is almost comparable to the strength of a level 3 new human. The combat power of a level 3 new human is about 300. For example, the comprehensive combat power of the rabbit-mouth youth. Old Man Kin once secretly tested it with the body table. It is 280. The rabbit-mouth youth is 280, and the guy who pretended to be fainted is 250. Doesn't that mean that if this guy pretended to be fainted is a little luckier, he might be able to defeat the rabbit-mouth youth? After reaching this conclusion, Old Man Kin himself didn't dare to believe it. If he told this conclusion to others, it is estimated that other people would laugh their heads off. After all, if we speculate according to common sense, a level 0 new human, who has not yet awakened superpowers, how could he defeat a level 3 new human with suppressive power? Maybe there is something wrong with my body table, which is why I get such ridiculous data. Although Old Man Kin knew that there was water in Lin Kong's comprehensive combat power, he didn't dare to tell the rabbit-mouth youth about Lin Kong's fainting. It's better to be safe than sorry. What if this guy who pretended to be fainted actually has a big move hidden? Maybe his comprehensive combat power is really 250. Therefore, the cautious and timid Old Man Kin chose to keep silent. He continued to silently and attentively treat Lin Kong's injuries. Of course, there was nothing wrong with the body surface of Old Man Kin. On the contrary, his superpowers were very accurate. Even though the live fire and Overlord Flame in Lin Kong's eyes were well hidden, they still did not escape the detection of the body surface. It was because the body surface discovered the live fire that contained huge vitality, and the Overlord Flame that ignored the suppression force. Therefore, the body surface judged the comprehensive combat power of Lin Kong, a mere 0-level new human, as very powerful. 250. Chapter 339, For the sake of a butt, even life is gone. Lin Kong was quickly cured by Old Man Kin. Not only did all the wounds on his body recover, but Lin Kong also discovered something that surprised him. Why? There are 3 more strands of spiritual energy in my body? Originally, Lin Kong was just a 0-level new human with 4 strands of spiritual energy, but now, the spiritual energy in his Danshin has reached 7 strands. You know, Lin Kong is a pure person who cannot practice. He can only produce spiritual energy in his body by eating the magic winter melon grown by Fanguonan. But now, his body has 3 more strands of spiritual energy. The changes in Danshin made Lin Kong feel both happy and puzzled. In the past, Lin Kong had suffered many serious injuries, but he had never produced any spiritual energy because of the recovery from injuries. But today, there were really 3 more strands of spiritual energy at once. In order to solve the mystery of the body's changes, Lin Kong had to think about the special things today. So, what is different from today and before? Old Man Kin had returned to the side of another wounded man and started to treat him. When Lin Kong saw the pair of white glowing hands of Old Man Kin, he suddenly understood. It seemed that when Old Man Kin was treating him, his Danshin felt warm, and then 3 strands of spiritual energy were generated. Yes, it was probably this Old Man Kin. Lin Kong's eyes lit up. If this Old Man Kin's treatment could really increase my spiritual energy, then I have a very bold idea. However, Lin Kong did not implement his idea immediately. He looked up at the rabbit-mouth youth. The rabbit-mouth youth also looked at Lin Kong, and after finding that Lin Kong's life was not in danger, he was too lazy to whip Lin Kong again to prevent the useless weak chicken from fainting again. The rabbit-mouth youth warned Lin Kong and told him to stay in the lounge honestly. Lin Kong, of course, pretended to be scared and nodded repeatedly. It must be said that Lin Kong's acting skills are really getting more and more mature. The young man with the rabbit mouth believed in Lin Kong's cowardly character. After warning Lin Kong, the young man with the rabbit mouth opened the door of the lounge and walked out. Lin Kong would participate in the death match performance tomorrow, and the young man with the rabbit mouth had to hurry up to prepare for tomorrow's performance. After seeing the young man with the rabbit mouth leave, Lin Kong planned to verify his previous guess. However, just at this moment, Dong dong dong. As the ground vibrated, a fat man with a face full of flesh and a fierce expression, weighing about 400 kilograms, walked over. The 400-kilogram fat man walked in front of Lin Kong, and he looked up and down, left and right at Lin Kong's well-proportioned figure. Then, he stretched out the stone, licked his dry lips, and ordered Lin Kong, "Take off your pants, then turn around and let me see your butt." When he said this, the 400-kilogram fat man's small eyes revealed a greedy gleam. This gleam of light was like a pervert who had abstained from sex for many years and saw a hot beauty. Lin Kong was about to verify his guess, but when he heard the order of the 400-jin fat man, he was immediately stunned. He explained with an embarrassed face, "Brother, did you misunderstand? I'm not a woman, I'm a man. I just like tender little boys like you." Lin Kong was speechless. Of course, he didn't take off his pants immediately. Lin Kong first took a look at the 400-jin fat man and found that the latter's strength was probably a level 2 new human. For a new human of this level, he could only defeat the opponent by using the live fire and overlord flame in his eyes. However, Lin Kong wanted to hide the two flames in his eyes. He couldn't reveal his last trump card too early. So, the problem came. If he didn't take it seriously, he couldn't beat this 400-jin fat man. His butt would be in danger. Lin Kong looked at the other people around him again. Of course, the others looked like they were enjoying the show, and no one was willing to come to help. The old man Qin, who had just treated Lin Kong's injuries, only looked at Lin Kong with sympathy, and did not dare to come forward to stop the 400-pound fat man's behavior. Seeing Lin Kong's hesitation, the 400-pound fat man rubbed his hands and urged in a gentle tone, "Little beauty, hurry up, take off your clothes, I can't wait." In fact, there are two reasons why the 400-pound fat man came to favor Lin Kong. The original text is in Liu number 9/. First, he really likes a delicate and tender boy like Lin Kong. Second, it was the instruction of the rabbit-mouthed young man. Just now, the rabbit-mouthed young man whipped Lin Kong hard with a whip, giving Lin Kong enough physical pain. Now, it is the turn of the 400-pound fat man to let Lin Kong, a pure boy, taste the spiritual humiliation. However, Lin Kong will not take off his pants. Even if he had to expose all his strength, he would not yield to the request of the 400-pound fat man. So, Lin Kong took 2 steps back and leaned against the wall. With nowhere to retreat, Lin Kong said with a slightly apologetic look on his face, "I'm sorry, big brother, I already have a girlfriend. Moreover, I am a man who values chastity and reputation. Therefore, I can't give you my ass. I'm really sorry." Lin Kong's expression when he spoke was very cowardly and he was quite unconfident. Everyone looked at him and thought he was just struggling in vain. Naturally, the 400-pound fat man would not give up this excellent body because of Lin Kong's words. "Since you're unwilling to take it off yourself, then I can only force you." He told her. The 400-pound fat man walked up with a lewd smile on his face. He stretched out his strong hands and was about to pull down Lin Kong's pants. When the 400-pound fat man was about to do it himself, Lin Kong suddenly rushed towards the iron stainless steel water pipe next to him. Lin Kong was only a new human of level 0, and his head's defense was not very strong. The hard stainless steel water pipe was only slightly deformed by Lin Kong's full-strength impact. However, with a dull bang sound, a large hole was directly knocked out on Lin Kong's forehead. Immediately, bright red blood flowed down from his forehead. The 400-jin fat man was stunned. Lin Kong touched the wound on his forehead and found that it was not deep enough. So, Lin Kong hit the stainless steel water pipe harder. Bang! This time the sound was much louder than before. More blood flowed from Lin Kong's forehead. Lin Kong's body softened and he fainted on the floor. Of course, Lin Kong pretended to faint again. Because of the fire of life in his eyes, Lin Kong's ability to resist dizziness is very strong. The 400-jin fat man next to him looked at the bloody wound on Lin Kong's forehead and couldn't help but take a step back. "FCK, you're willing to give up your life for a butt." Chapter 340 Lin Kong's Eye Blast. Seeing that the blood was flowing from Lin Kong's forehead, The 400-jin fat man quickly asked Old Man Kin to come and treat Lin Kong. He planned to wait until Lin Kong, the little beauty, recovered before having a happy play. Old Man Kin looked at the 400-jin fat man's shining eyes and naturally understood the latter's dirty wishful thinking. However, Old Man Kin did not dare to resist the 400-jin fat man. Just like there are bullies in the dormitory, there are also bosses who collect protection fees in the class. This 400-jin fat man is the best among the level 2 new humans. Old Man Kin once tested the comprehensive combat power of this fat man, 280. This combat power is already on par with the strength of the rabbit-mouth youth. However, this 400-jin fat man is only a level 2 new human. The reason why the rabbit-mouth youth can have a combat power of 280 is because he is a level 3 new human. If the rabbit-mouth youth is also a level 2 new human, then he will definitely not be able to beat this 400-jin fat man. In short, in front of ordinary level 2 new humans, this 400-pound fat man is a monster with extraordinary strength. Buzz tilde. Old Man Kin squatted in front of Lin Kong and activated his superpower, Body Surface. When this ability was activated, Old Man Kin was shocked to find that, damn, this guy is pretending to be unconscious again. My god, the wound on this guy's forehead is so deep that the bone can be seen. With such a serious wound, he can still stay awake. Moreover, not only did he remain clear-headed, he didn't say a word, and his expression didn't show any pain. Monster, this guy is really a monster. Old Man Kin used to think that the 400-pound fat man was a monster far beyond the same level of new humans. However, when Old Man Kin met Lin Kong, he found that, in front of Lin Kong, the 400-pound fat man is just trash. The combat power of the 400-pound fat man of the level 2 new human is 280, while Lin Kong, who is only a level 0 new human, has reached a terrifying combat power of 250. No, it's not 250 anymore. When Old Man Kin's shining hands touched Lin Kong's body, he was shocked to find that Lin Kong's combat power increased from 250 to 270. In just a short while, Lin Kong's combat power increased by 20. This. What on earth is going on? Old Man Kin hurriedly examined Lin Kong's body carefully. In just a short while, Old Man Kin quickly discovered the changes in Lin Kong. The spiritual energy in his Danshin increased by 3 strands. After discovering that Lin Kong had increased his spiritual energy, Old Man Kin couldn't help but think of his hidden ability of Body Surface, evolutionary power. The effect of this hidden ability is very simple and crude, which is to allow the treated person to evolve into a new human. However, it is not 100% successful. Generally speaking, the more seriously injured the wounded are, the greater the probability of triggering the hidden ability of evolutionary power, after being treated by Old Man Kin, thereby allowing oneself to evolve from an ordinary person to a new human. Old Man Kin once made his daughter from an ordinary person into a new human. However, his daughter has been eaten by zombies. Old Kin himself was captured by the three-eyed corpse and taken to the football field of the gathering place, where he became the exclusive doctor of the gladiators. Old Kin once thought about committing suicide. However, Old Kin did not have the courage to commit suicide. There was no way. Old Kin could only continue to live. Old Kin thought that he would never be able to escape from this terrible football field in his life. But under the guidance of fate, he met Lin Kong. His miserable life will undergo earth-shaking changes because of Lin Kong's arrival. Of course, Old Kin does not know this yet. He is now paying attention to the changes in Lin Kong's body. In about 3 or 4 minutes, Old Kin successfully restored Lin Kong's forehead to its original state. It must be said that the methods of the new humans are extraordinary. If it were in a peaceful era, the wound on Lin Kong's forehead would take at least 3 or 4 months in the hospital to heal. However, Old Man Kin used his superpowers to take only 3 or 4 minutes to fix the wound that would have taken a long time to recover. During this treatment, Lin Kong kept an eye on the changes in his Danshin. Sure enough, just as Lin Kong guessed, when he was being treated by Old Man Kin, white spiritual energy slowly emerged from his flesh and blood. 3 strands. Read the original text at LU number 9 / After his wounds healed, Lin Kong found that there were 3 more strands of spiritual energy in his Danshan. Lin Kong was very excited. Just now, Lin Kong wanted to use the method of hitting himself to verify his guess. Now, there are really 3 more strands of spiritual energy in his body. So, the first thing he did when he woke up was to hit the stainless steel water pipe next to him again without saying a word. Once again, his head was broken and bleeding. Lin Kong pretended to faint again. The 400-pound fat man next to him was stunned. "I haven't even said anything yet, and I haven't even taken off my pants yet. Why did you hit me again?" There was no other way. The 400-jin fat man could only ask Old Man Keen to treat Lin Kong again. Old Man Keen knew that Lin Kong was not a fool, and he would not hurt himself for no reason. Therefore, there was only one truth. That is, this guy who liked to pretend to faint must have known the secret that his spiritual energy would increase after being treated by me. Therefore, this guy would hurt himself again and asked me to treat him. After thinking clearly about Lin Kong's motives, Old Man Kin had to admire Lin Kong's boldness and carefulness again. Old Man Kin activated the body surface again and treated Lin Kong. However, this time, Old Man Keen found that there was no extra spiritual energy in Lin Kong's body. When Lin Kong opened his eyes and found that there were still 10 strands of spiritual energy in his Danshan, he also showed a look of loss. He just wanted to rely on Old Man Keen's ability to upgrade from level 1 new human to level 2 in one go. It seems that this method of spiritual energy growth is also limited, and it should not be possible to grow indefinitely. Even so, Lin Kong still decided to try again to see if he could increase his spiritual energy. After all, there were only 29 days left, and every time his strength increased, the chance of successfully rescuing his mother would be higher. Therefore, Lin Kong planned to continue to self-harm so that Old Man Kin could treat him. For the reunion of his family and for his mother to return safely, Lin Kong's belief became extremely firm, and he could continue to endure the physical pain. After making up his mind, Lin Kong turned his head and was about to hit the stainless steel water pipe again. However, what came into his eyes was a round belly. It was the 400-jin fat man who stood in front of the stainless steel water pipe and advanced to prevent Lin Kong from hitting the water pipe again. He. Do you still want to hit the water pipe? A very treacherous smile appeared on the 400-jin fat man's fat and greasy face. However, Lin Kong's next behavior surprised the 400-jin fat man. There are many ways to self-harm, and you don't have to hit the stainless steel water pipe. Lin Kong showed a sinister smile. He slowly stretched out a finger, and then quickly poked it. Puff. Lin Kong poked his own eyeball out. Silence. Everyone in the audience was instantly silent. Chapter 341 Lin Kong's Superpower, Summoning Meteorites. In the lounge of the football field in Ziyang City, a gathering place. After a short silence, the people around gasped, "Fuck, this is a ruthless man. Oh my god, is this still a human being?" He didn't say anything and just poked his eyeballs out. It's really scary, too scary. FCK, I thought he was a coward just now, but I didn't expect that he would become so brave in order to protect his butt. Oh my god, I admire you, please accept my knee. Everyone was discussing fiercely, looking at Lin Kong, who suddenly became fierce as if they had seen a ghost. They all thought that Lin Kong was afraid that his butt would be violated by the 400-pound fat man, but he couldn't beat the 400-pound fat man, so he committed self-harm. However, in the lounge, only Old Man Kin knew Lin Kong's intention very well. This guy self-harmed not because he was afraid of the 400-pound fat man, but his real reason was to make his body produce more spiritual energy. The reason why Lin Kong dared to hurt himself without any scruples was that he knew that Old Man Kin would definitely heal him, even if his injuries were more serious. If his life was in danger, Shen Zhu, who wanted to see him die miserably, would definitely be furious, and everyone else in the lounge would have to be buried with Lin Kong. The 400-jin fat man next to him understood this very well. Although he could violate Lin Kong's buttocks, or use other methods to humiliate Lin Kong, but he absolutely could not kill Lin Kong. Therefore, after seeing Lin Kong poking his eyes, the 400-jin fat man's eyes showed a panic. He hurriedly came forward and grabbed Lin Kong's hands, and humbly advised, Little beauty, I was wrong, I don't want your buttocks. Is that okay? The 400-jin fat man was also afraid that Lin Kong would accidentally commit suicide. At that time, the rabbit-mouth youth would blame him, and the 400-jin fat man could not bear it. He turned to Old Man Qin and shouted, "Why are you still standing there? Hurry up and heal him." Old Man Qin did not dare to disobey the order. He immediately circulated his spiritual energy and activated his superpowers to heal Lin Kong. Because the eyeball is an organ, it is more troublesome to regenerate after being punctured. About 10 minutes later, Lin Kong's eyes grew back. However, the spiritual energy in Lin Kong's Danshana did not change. It was still 10 strands. Seeing Lin Kong's slightly disappointed look, Old Man Qin approached Lin Kong's ear and explained in a low voice, "I am now a new human of level 2. At most, I can only make ordinary people evolve to new humans of level 1. If you want to rely on the method of injury recovery to go to the next level, you must wait until I reach the level of level 3 first." Lin Kong knew that Old Man Qin wanted to dissuade him from continuing to self-harm. After listening to what Old Man Qin said before, Lin Kong could only temporarily stop the idea of self-harm. However, when Old Man Qin said the second sentence, Lin Kong's eyes lit up. "You just said that as long as you reach level 3, you can let me reach level 2, right?" Maybe, it's possible." Old Man Qin looked at Lin Kong's shining eyes, and his words became a little uncertain. "Could it be that this guy has a way to make me a new human at level 3? Old Man Qin knew that the way to advance to level 3 was to take 2000 level 2 spirit cores. 2000, for Old Man Qin, this was simply an astronomical number. He simply couldn't kill so many level 2 mutant zombies. Even if he had the ability to kill so many level 2 zombies, he couldn't escape from this football field and avoid the pursuit of the zombie army under the command of Three-Eyed Corpse. 2000 level 2 spirit cores were a difficult thing for Old Man Qin. But for Lin Kong, it was just a trivial matter. "Then it's settled. I'll let you get to level 3, and you can get to level 2. Lin Kong patted Old Man Qin and smiled happily. The 400-jin fat man next to him was a level 2 new human with excellent hearing. He naturally heard the conversation between Old Man Qin and Lin Kong clearly. He had given up the idea of violating Lin Kong's butt and didn't want to bully Lin Kong. However, when he heard Lin Kong's arrogant words, the 400-jin fat man couldn't help but laugh at him. "Ha ha ha, you just went from a weak chicken at level 0 to a weak chicken at level 1. Now you are boasting that you can help Old Man Qin get to level 3. The original text is in Liu number 9/. Haha, little beauty. You may have some misunderstanding about the concept of level 3 new humans. Although the 400-jin fat man was talented, he was only a level 2 new human. To get to level 3, he had to eat 2000 level 2 spirit cores, and there was no other shortcut. He felt that Lin Kong, who had just become a new human of the first level, could not possibly obtain that huge amount of level 2 spiritual cores. Facing the ridicule of the 400-jin fat man, Lin Kong ignored him. He was just a frog in a well. As an eagle, Lin Kong did not even bother to talk nonsense with the fat man. After scaring off the fat man, Lin Kong could finally study his newly awakened superpowers with peace of mind. It is worth mentioning that, according to the data of Qin Latus body table, when Lin Kong's internal spiritual energy reached 10 strands, his combat power had soared from 270 to 350. Faced with such abnormal combat power, Qin Latu was also very surprised. Originally, when Lin Kong's body had 4 strands of spiritual energy, his combat power was 250. When Lin Kong's body had 7 strands of spiritual energy, his combat power rose to 280. With 3 more strands of spiritual energy, his combat power increased by 30. This increase is still normal. However, when Lin Kong's spiritual energy increased from 7 strands to 10 strands, his combat power actually increased by 80, soaring from 270 to 360. A combat power of 360 is enough to crush most of the level 3 new humans. For example, the level 3 rabbit-mouth youth with a combat power of 280. Old Man Qin estimated based on the combat power of both sides, He estimated that Lin Kong now only needs one move to kill him. Old Man Qin knew very well what a combat power of 350 meant. It meant that Lin Kong had become an invincible existence in the lounge as soon as he entered the lounge. The other gladiators in the lounge, even if they all came together, might not be Lin Kong's opponent. Old Man Qin understood that the reason why Lin Kong's combat power suddenly increased by 80 was definitely because Lin Kong awakened a very powerful, very perverted, and very invincible superpower. That's right, Old Man Qin guessed right. Lin Kong's superpower was even more powerful than Triceratops, Dinosaur Possession, and 7 Black Balls, 7 Black Frost. Dinosaur Possession, and 7 Black Frost, are both SS level superpowers. However, Lin Kong's superpower is SSS level. The name of this power is Summon Meteorite. Chapter 342 Summon a meteorite to test its power. There were no experts in cultivation around Lin Kong, so the SSS level evaluation of Summon Meteorite was naturally given by Lin Kong himself. Of course, he did not make a random evaluation. According to the superpower classification provided by Z Wang, A-level superpowers can probably easily defeat new humans of the same level. And when you have S-level superpowers, you can crush enemies of the same level at will, and it is absolutely no problem to beat a kid with one punch. If you have SS-level superpowers, then you can not only beat new humans of the same level at will, even, you can defeat enemies of higher levels. For example, if you are level 1 and you have SS level 7 Black Frost, then if you fight carefully and concentrate, you should be able to defeat an ordinary level 2 new human. Of course, if you want to defeat a level 3 new human by leaps and bounds, then, you have to have SSS level superpowers. For example, like Lin Kong's Summon Meteorite. In short, A-level superpowers are strong at the same level. S-level superpowers are invincible at the same level. SS-level superpowers can kill enemies one level higher. The most powerful and abnormal SSS superpowers can kill enemies 2 levels higher. Therefore, according to this theory, although Lin Kong, who has the SSS level Summon Meteorite, is a new human at level 1, he may be able to defeat a new human at level 3. At the same time, Lin Kong also has the Fire of Life, that can be resurrected many times, and the Flame of the Overlord, that ignores suppression. Therefore, Lin Kong's current strength will be able to easily defeat a new human at level 3. It is precisely because of the discovery of all Lin Kong's abilities that Old Man Qin's body table will judge Lin Kong's comprehensive combat power as powerful. 360. The combat power of an ordinary new human at level 3 is about 300. Therefore, Old Man Qin will think that Lin Kong, with a comprehensive combat power of 360, will be able to kill a new human at level 3 with average superpowers in seconds. Having said so many abnormalities of SSS skills, what is so powerful about Lin Kong's Summon Meteorite? Just as the name of this superpower describes, Summon Meteorite. Meteorites come from outer space. Lin Kong's superpower is to summon meteorites from outer space to launch a devastating attack on the enemy. This effect is both simple and brutal. A meteorite falling rapidly from outer space smashes straight towards the enemy. Boom. With a deafening roar. Lin Kong estimated that even a level 4 new human could not withstand the impact of a meteorite. Even a level 5 new human would be smashed into slag by this meteorite from outer space. In terms of attack power, the attack power of Summon Meteorite can definitely reach the full force of a level 5 new human. However, a level 5 new human will not be hit by a meteorite at all. A level 4 new human will not suffer either. Because it takes time for a meteorite to fall from the sky, level 4 and 5 new humans have amazing reaction speeds and their movement speeds are also fast, so meteorites basically cannot hit them. Therefore, in order to hit a high-level enemy, it is necessary to contain the enemy's actions so that he cannot avoid the bombardment of the meteorite in time. In a one-on-one situation, Lin Kong, as a level 1 new human, can only desperately contain the actions of a level 3 new human. Therefore, limited by Lin Kong's own weak combat power, without help, Lin Kong's Summon Meteorite can only kill level 3 new humans at most. However, if Lin Kong calls on the forest pterosaur, Quetzalcoatlus, Tyrannosaurus, Triceratops, and 7 black balls for help, then, it is estimated that level 5 new humans are not Lin Kong's opponents. If the tactics are appropriate, even level 6 new humans may be seriously injured by the whistling meteorites. Thinking of this, Lin Kong's heart full of haze finally saw a glimmer of hope. The president is a level 6 new human. Facing such an enemy as strong as an elephant, Lin Kong once felt that he was a tiny ant. And now, after Lin Kong awakened his superpowers, he finally turned from an ant into a venomous snake. Although the probability of defeating the president is still very low, but at least, Lin Kong, the venomous snake, finally has a deadly venom that can kill the opponent. This deadly venom is to summon meteorites to seriously injure the president. When Lin Kong reaches level 3 or 4, his superpowers will also become stronger. The original text is in the 6 number 9 book. When that time comes, maybe a meteorite from outer space can kill the level 6 president instantly, which is also a very likely thing. Huff exhale. Lin Kong calmed his excited breathing. He calmed his mind and began to carefully think about his superpowers. Although the new human can immediately understand the use of superpowers after awakening, if you study it carefully, you may find more wonderful uses. For example, the dinosaur possession of the Triceratops. Generally speaking, this kind of possession ability is used to defend one's own body. However, Lin Kong took a different approach. He used the method of removing the possession to make the Triceratops suddenly appear under his feet, so that his body can move unexpectedly. It was this special use that made Lin Kong smash half of Zhao Guang's face with one punch. When fighting Murongjing in the county gathering place, Lin Kong also lifted the dinosaur possession, causing the Triceratops to suddenly appear above Murongjing's belly. Then, the Triceratops stepped heavily and directly broke the frozen Murongjing into 2. Lin Kong firmly believed that his superpower was not as simple as summoning meteorites from outer space. Perhaps, there were other more wonderful uses. Lin Kong closed his eyes, eagerly feeling his superpowers, and thinking carefully. The first step was to summon a small meteorite to try. The ability was activated. Buzz tilde. A special wave emanated from Lin Kong's head. In an instant, Lin Kong's mind directly traveled through tens of thousands of kilometers and came to the space outside the Earth's atmosphere. Here, there were various meteorites of different sizes, floating casually in the silent and vast space. It was as if the eyes had suddenly arrived in outer space. Lin Kong could clearly see the blue Earth, the gray moon, and other yellow and black planets. Looking at the deep and quiet scenery in outer space, Lin Kong couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Wow, the scenery in outer space is so beautiful. After appreciating the beauty of space, Lin Kong focused his mind on a small meteorite with a diameter of 10 meters. A diameter of 10 meters, from the perspective of the Earth, it is already a very large stone. However, in outer space, the meteorite groups are as large as hundreds of kilometers. Therefore, in front of the supergiant meteorite with a diameter of hundreds of kilometers, Lin Kong can only call a meteorite with a diameter of 10 meters, a small meteorite. Of course, Lin Kong has no way to control the super-large meteorite with a diameter of hundreds of kilometers. Well, let's try to hit a meteorite with a diameter of 10 meters. Lin Kong's mind moved, and he let the meteorite quickly shoot towards the Earth. Target location: the gate of the gathering place in Xiong City. At the same time, Zhu Linian was leading her army of beasts and had already arrived near the gate of the gathering place. Chapter 343: The Use of Meteorites. Although he had the experience of the first summon, Lin Kong was more cautious the second time, because he was in the football field. If he was off-center, he might accidentally hit himself. Buzz tilde. As the spiritual energy moved rapidly in his mind, Lin Kong's thoughts penetrated tens of thousands of kilometers in the blink of an eye and came to the vast space. Just now, he picked a small meteorite with a diameter of 10 meters. When it hit the ground, it was only 5 meters in diameter. The power was not very strong. Lin Kong decided to pick a bigger one this time. His mind was selecting from the meteorites of different sizes. This one is only 20 meters in diameter. No, I have to pick a bigger one. Wow, This one is quite big, at least 300 meters wide. Unfortunately, my mind couldn't control this big meteorite at all. After choosing and choosing, Lin Kong finally picked a very suitable medium-sized meteorite. This meteorite is also spherical, with a diameter of about 50 meters. It is 5 times larger than the small meteorite just now. Go! Lin Kong gave an order in his mind, and the medium-sized meteorite with a diameter of 50 meters and as long as a basketball court slowly floated towards the Earth. In a vacuum, there is no air obstruction, so although the starting speed of this medium-sized meteorite is very slow, it is constantly accelerating and getting faster and faster. After about 10 minutes, the medium-sized meteorite successfully entered the Earth's atmosphere. Once it entered the atmosphere, under the influence of the Earth's gravity, the speed of the medium-sized meteorite increased even faster. At this time, Lin Kong no longer needed to add thoughts to accelerate it. What he had to do now was to concentrate on controlling the direction of the meteorite. Just as Lin Kong was concentrating on controlling the meteorite, the gathering place in Xiong City became unusually lively, because the small meteorite that hit the gate caused a really loud noise. Almost everyone within a radius of dozens of miles heard the huge sound of the meteorite falling. Everyone cast their curious eyes towards the location of the gate. Some people looked up at the sky, worried that more meteorites would fall. Some people were sad because their friends were guarding the gate and were killed by the meteorite. The emotions of zombies are completely different from those of humans. Ecstasy. The high-level zombies in the gathering place all showed ecstatic expressions. The lower the level of zombies, the less emotions they have, so when the meteorite fell and made a loud noise, they felt almost nothing and just turned their heads mechanically to see what it was. It doesn't matter if you don't look at it, but you will be shocked when you see it. It turned out to be a meteorite from outer space. In the vision of those mutant zombies, a faint red light was emitting from the deep pit. These red lights are invisible to human eyes. Only zombies can see them. When they saw this strange red light, they were like perverts seeing a beautiful woman taking a bath, and they rushed to the deep pit with shining eyes. They knew that only meteorites from outer space could emit this strange red light. Hee good stuff. Mine. Hee don't fight with me. Whoever runs faster gets it. Most of the mutant zombies in the gathering place are high-level zombies above level 3, and they can all speak some simple words. In order to monopolize the meteorite in the deep pit, they even attacked each other. However, these level 3 and level 4 zombies seemed to have forgotten the boss of the gathering place, the level 6, three-eyed zombie. Swish! A black phantom directly surpassed all the running zombies and flew directly above the deep pit. This black phantom was none other than the hook-nosed, three-eyed zombie, stepping on the 7 black balls. It was originally indifferent, but when it looked at the meteorite in the deep pit, its eyes also glowed red, and a greedy look appeared on its face. The other mutant zombies saw the figure of three-eyed zombie, and could only stop reluctantly. Even though they were eager for the meteorite, they had to give up wisely for the sake of their own lives. Unlike the high-level zombies that stopped, the low-level zombies of level 1 and 2 had no fear at all. They didn't care about the existence of the three-eyed zombie at all and rushed into the deep pit frantically. Seeing these ignorant fools, the hook-nosed, three-eyed zombie snorted coldly and released his suppression power. The suppression power of the level 6 zombies was like a violent gust of wind, sweeping all the creatures around. Puff puff puff. Those low-level zombies were directly shattered by the terrifying suppression power of level 6 before they rushed into the deep pit. They all died instantly with blood flowing from all 7 orifices. Bang 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 bang. The high-level zombies around also had suppression power. Although they would not be harmed by the suppression power of the three-eyed zombie, once they felt the terrifying strength of the three-eyed zombie, they all knelt on the ground and trembled in front of the three-eyed zombie. Zhu Linyun, who was far away, also suffered a lot of losses because of the suppression power of the three-eyed zombie. The suppression power of the level 3 zombies can already affect all areas within 100 meters. As a level 6 zombie, the suppression power of the three-eyed zombie can instantly cover a 3-kilometer radius. Such a wide range naturally wrapped up Zhu Linyun's army of beasts. So, Puff 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 puff. 99% of the 5 or 6,000 beasts died directly. Only a few dozen high-level mutant beasts were left, crawling on the ground and trembling with fear. Facing such a terrifying suppression power, Zhu Linian was no exception. She crawled directly on the ground, not daring to move at all. However, she was not very scared, because she knew that all the men on the earth would not have the heart to hurt her. Judging from the handsome appearance, Zhu Linian felt that the hook-nosed, three-eyed zombie must be a new human. Looking at the throat of the three-eyed zombie, there was an Adam's apple. Obviously, this is definitely a man. Humphrey, if you are a man, you must serve me well. Later, as long as the hook-nosed man sees his peerless appearance, he will immediately turn into a dog to please me. At that time, I will slap him twice to punish him for using repressive force without authorization. Zhu Linian's calculations were clacking in her mind. Her worrying IQ actually mistook a high-level zombie for a human. The perception ability of the three-eyed corpse was extremely sharp, and he certainly discovered the existence of Zhu Linian. His sense of smell was even more sensitive, and he immediately smelled the unique fragrance on Zhu Linian. This fragrance, for ordinary men, is a fatal temptation that can instantly turn them into Zhu Linian's dogs. However, for zombies, it only makes them want to eat Zhu Linian's fragrant flesh and blood. When the three-eyed corpse first discovered the quarrel at the gate, he wanted to rush over to eat the delicious Zhu Linian, but the meteorite that fell from the sky made him give up this plan. For the three-eyed corpse, if Zhu Linian is pork stewed with vermicelli, then this meteorite that fell from the sky is a bowl of precious Buddha jumps over the wall. Pork stewed with vermicelli can be done in half an hour, but the precious Buddha jumps over the wall takes several days, and the materials used are more precious, and the overall nutritional content is far greater than pork stewed with vermicelli. Three-eyed corpse glanced at Zhu Linian lying in the distance, and decided to eat the meteorite first, and then eat Zhu Linian. Of course, the so-called eating meteorites is naturally not to eat a whole meteorite with your mouth. What three-eyed corpse has to do is to absorb the red light emitted from the meteorite. Most humans don't know the benefits of meteorites from outer space. However, the general high-level zombies will understand the role of meteorites from outer space. Evolution, for example, the Zhuge corpse that Lin Kong subdued was able to be promoted to level 3 while walking because it accidentally touched the meteorite from outer space. It was the red light emitted from the meteorite that made it evolve from an ordinary level 2 zombie to level 3. The original text can be read in Liu number 9 at /bar. If Zhuge corpse encounters a meteorite again, it can change from level 3 to level 4, or even level 5 or 6. The reason for saying this is because three-eyed corpse relied on this method to become a level 6 zombie. Originally, three-eyed corpse was just a level 2 zombie. Later, he accidentally absorbed the red light of a meteorite and was promoted to level 3. After being promoted to level 3, it controlled many humans, and those humans found many meteorites. The red light of some meteorites has been absorbed, and only a few 6 or 7 meteorites still retain the red light that only zombies can see. Three-eyed corpse absorbed all the red light energy of these 6 or 7 meteorites, and immediately soared from level 3 to level 6. In fact, the original mission of Zhao Guang, the green-haired young man, and Zhu Ba included the content of finding meteorites. Because the green-haired youth's superpower, plant communication, is very helpful for finding meteorites. Unfortunately, Zhao Guang and the green-haired youth were both killed by Lin Kong. However, good and bad are interdependent. Today, a delicious meteorite was delivered to him. Three-eyed corpse was very happy. He jumped down from the 7 black balls and jumped directly into the deep pit. From the perspective of ordinary people, this meteorite that just fell, still emitting steaming white smoke, is just an ordinary meteorite. In the perspective of three-eyed corpse, the surface of this meteorite can't help but emit hot white smoke, and also permeates with wisps of red energy. After this red energy is emitted from the inside of the meteorite, it lingers around the meteorite like light smoke. There is no wind in the deep pit, so these red energies will not be blown away for the time being. If these red energies are blown into other zombie bodies, then these low-level zombies will most likely evolve because of a few wisps of red energy. No, these are all mine. I absolutely cannot let anyone else absorb them. A greedy light burst out from the eyes of the three-eyed corpse. It rushed forward impatiently, opened its mouth and sucked fiercely. Level 6 zombies have great physical strength and strong suction power. This fierce suction was like putting a high-powered water pump into a stream. In a short while, it absorbed the red energy of the entire meteorite. Tilda, so cool. After sucking, the three eyes of the three-eyed corpse, all closed, its entire face showed a very happy and comfortable expression. After a careful feeling, the three-eyed corpse was pleasantly surprised to find that its realm had changed from the early stage of level 6 to the middle stage of level 6. Since it was promoted to level 6, the strength of the three-eyed corpse has been stagnant. Now, because of a meteorite that fell from the sky, it has directly risen from the early stage of level 6 to the middle stage of level 6. According to this progress, if there is another meteorite of the same size, I will be promoted directly to the late stage of level 6. Three-eyed corpse thought happily. However, he immediately understood that how could there be more meteorites falling? Even if there are more meteorites falling, they may not fall into their own territory. On the Earth now, all kinds of powerful high-level zombies are coveting the red energy of meteorites from outer space. If they do not fall into their own territory, they will soon be absorbed by other high-level zombies. Three-eyed corpse knows that the meteorite that fell at the gate was just because of dog shit luck. It does not think that there will be more meteorites falling. With a strong jump, three-eyed corpse jumped from the deep pit to the surface of the 7 black balls. Looking down, the meteorite no longer emits red light. The high-level zombies around no longer show fanatical eyes to the deep pit. Gradually, they turned their eyes to Zhu Linian in the distance. As the most fragrant woman in the world, Zhu Linian's fragrance can still be smelled by others even if they are hundreds of meters away. The red light energy of the meteorite is gone. But there is still a fragrant woman over there. But unfortunately, Zhu Linian is not their turn at all. Swoosh! Three-eyed corpse took the lead and flew over. It just had a big meal, and now it just happened to use Zhu Linian as a dessert after the meal. Hee, cool. Three-eyed corpse thought happily. Zhu Linian looked at the three-eyed corpse, flying quickly, and thought it was another dog-licking man who came to please her. She was about to stand up and scold three-eyed corpse. But, at this moment, Zhu Linian's beautiful eyes widened, looking at the place behind three-eyed corpse. Again, after saying that, Zhu Linian stood up and ran away. Three-eyed corpse originally wanted to eat Zhu Linian, but it found a red object falling down through the reflection of the surface of Zhu Linian's eyes. Could it be another meteorite? The three-eyed corpse was immediately excitedly guessing. He quickly turned his head and looked at the sky. Wow, another one. The three-eyed corpse, who was originally as proud as an iceberg, was as happy as a child when he saw the meteorite falling from the sky. This one seemed to be several times larger than the previous one. Moreover, this one was also flying towards him. The three-eyed corpse was very excited. There was something good to eat again. With a big meteorite falling from the sky, who would want to eat Zhu Linian? The three-eyed corpse no longer cared about Zhu Linian, who was trying to avoid the meteorite. It stared at the medium-sized meteorite that hit the gathering place. Originally, Lin Kong wanted to destroy the football field with this second medium-sized meteorite, but he never expected that it was the meteorite from outer space that he had attracted that made the three-eyed corpse successful. What Lin Kong didn't expect was that this superpower of summoning meteorites would bring him a very big benefit. Chapter 344 A Bold Plan. Lin Kong's second summon was a medium-sized meteorite with a diameter of 50 meters. After this medium-sized meteorite entered the atmosphere, as its speed increased, it gradually rubbed against the air to generate heat, and burned with fierce flames. Seeing a meteorite larger than the previous one rushing down silently, everyone ran away in fear, worried that they would be smashed into mud by this medium-sized meteorite. As for why this medium-sized meteorite was silent when it fell, it was because its speed was too fast, far exceeding the speed of sound propagation. In other words, in fact, it was falling rumbling, but the rumbling sound had no time to reach the ground. Compared with the super-fast speed of the medium-sized meteorite, the speed of sound propagation was just like a snail crawling. In short, whether it was a high-level zombie or a new human, they couldn't help but start to run away. But this medium-sized meteorite was shot obliquely, and the direction was actually uncertain. Therefore, some of the high-level zombies ran towards the football field in a panic. So, boom. These unlucky high-level zombies were hit by the medium-sized meteorite. They didn't even have time to scream before they turned into meat paste. Under Lin Kong's deliberate guidance, this medium-sized meteorite just hit the audience seats of the football field. In the audience seats, there were originally many high-level zombies. They were watching the humans who were killing each other in the football field. They stared with red eyes, and their faces showed excited and bloodthirsty expressions. They knew that as long as the humans in the football field died, the bodies left behind would be thrown into the audience seats and eaten by the zombie audience. Some humans had already died in the football field, and they screamed and waved their arms. However, they did not expect that a righteous medium-sized meteorite had already hit them, accompanied by a loud noise that shook the earth. At least 200 or 300 high-level zombies were smashed into mud by this medium-sized meteorite. After the medium-sized meteorite fell, it naturally set off a huge shock wave. The other zombies around were blown back by the shock wave before they had time to escape. As for Lin Kong, he had long been hiding in the corner of the lounge. The lounge was also affected by the shock wave. The glass on the window shattered in an instant. Even the concrete wall was directly collapsed. As for the roof of the lounge, it was also blown directly into the sky like pulling a carrot. The other people in the lounge did not discover the fall of the medium-sized meteorite in advance, and they were still chatting leisurely. Therefore, when the roof of the lounge was lifted, some unlucky people were directly blown into the sky. Only the higher level and heavier new humans survived. For example, the 400-jin fat man who just wanted to invade Lin Kong's buttocks. He huddled tightly in the corner, his small eyes closed in fear, looking at the 400-jin fat man's crotch again. It was already soaked. Obviously, he was scared to pee. After the medium-sized meteorite landed, the flames on the surface gradually extinguished, but its surface was still burning red, like a soldering iron. The surrounding air also became very warm because of the extremely high temperature of the medium-sized meteorite. When the wind blew, Lin Kong could clearly smell the urine smell on the 400-jin fat man. The fat man huddled in the corner without moving. Lin Kong sensed the diameter of this medium-sized meteorite and found that it had changed from 50 meters to a small guy of 20 meters. The volume was reduced too much. However, although the diameter became 20 meters, the power was also quite large. Lin Kong shook off the dust on his body and turned his head to look. He found that there was a super big pit of nearly 100 meters in the audience seats. What is the concept of 100 meters? The length of a football field is generally about 100 meters. In other words, if the huge crater created by this medium-sized meteorite falls in the center of the football field, the entire football field will be gone. Fortunately, Lin Kong let it fall on the audience seats. This smash basically destroyed half of the audience seats, killed hundreds of high-level zombies, and injured 3,000 to 4,000 zombies and people. Those who died were directly killed by the smash. The injured were not a big problem. Anyway, the recovery of new humans is very fast now. The bodies of mutant zombies are also thick and tough. In general, the momentum is huge, but the performance is average. Lin Kong feels that there is really nothing to brag about with only a few hundred high-level zombies. If there are 7 black balls to help, Lin Kong can easily kill thousands of high-level zombies. It seems that I can summon another small meteorite. After summoning the second medium-sized meteorite, Lin Kong found that his head was dizzy. The dizziness in his head indicated that if Lin Kong forced his superpowers to work, he might only be able to summon another medium-sized meteorite with a diameter of about 10 meters. In other words, the current limit of Lin Kong's summoning is 1 medium-sized meteorite plus 2 small meteorites. No more. If there are more, he will bleed from all 7 orifices and die suddenly. When he thought of dying suddenly, Lin Kong suddenly had a bold idea. If he died suddenly and then used the fire of life to revive himself, he might be able to continue to summon meteorites to attack. Thinking of this method, Lin Kong quickly shook his head. It is better not to die as much as possible. The fire of life, hidden in the right eye, contains limited life energy, and it is estimated that it cannot be resurrected many times. Therefore, if he can survive, he should try not to die. The important means of resurrection should be saved for the battle against the president. Finally, Lin Kong decided not to summon meteorites anymore. He had to recover his spirit and continue to test his superpowers tomorrow morning. For the skill of summon meteorites, Lin Kong came up with several very useful combat techniques. Although he wanted to verify these strange techniques very much, he was very tired now, so he could only suppress his curiosity temporarily and wait to explore slowly in the future. Lin Kong looked up at the sky with expectation, as if he had passed through the thick atmosphere and saw the deep and vast endless starry sky. There were countless large and small meteorites, quietly waiting for Lin Kong to discover. It feels so good to have superpowers. Lin Kong sighed. As a pure, he can neither be infected by zombies nor evolve. I thought it would be impossible to become a new human in this life. But unexpectedly, not only Fang Guonan's magic winter melon can help him evolve, but even a sudden encounter with the doctor, Old Man Qin, can help him give birth to spiritual energy. Originally, Lin Kong thought that he had to wait until tomorrow evening to reach the level of level 1 and awaken his superpowers. As a result, now, with the help of Old Man Qin, he has obtained superpowers 1 day in advance. According to Fang Guonan's description, those magic winter melons should be able to give me some more spiritual energy. As long as I have more spiritual energy in my body, I can summon more meteorites. Now Lin Kong, without the possession of the Triceratops, and without the protection of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, is extremely eager to greatly improve his own strength. Lin Kong was looking at the sky. Suddenly, he felt a familiar feeling approaching. Hutilda. A black shadow quickly flew over from a distance. Lin Kong looked closely and found that it was the 7 black balls. On the 7 black balls stood the handsome guy with a hooked nose, three-eyed corpse. When Lin Kong saw the arrival of three-eyed corpse, he secretly rejoiced. This guy will definitely be furious when he finds that his zombie subordinates have suffered heavy casualties. Although I can't kill it now, but if I make it angry and distressed, I will at least feel better. The original text is in Liu number 9/. Just when Lin Kong thought that three-eyed corpse would roar angrily, something that puzzled him happened. The hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse actually rushed towards the medium-sized meteorite in the deep pit with an ecstatic look on his face. The temperature on the surface of the medium-sized meteorite had not completely dissipated. The hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse rushed down without any scruples. As a level 6 zombie, it was not afraid of the high temperature of a few hundred degrees. In its field of vision, the medium-sized meteorite was emitting even more intense red energy. The three-eyed corpse approached excitedly, and then took a long breath. This breath, like a whale sucking water, directly absorbed all the red energy contained in the entire medium-sized meteorite. After the absorption was completed, a violent white light burst out of the three-eyed corpse's body. Awesome tilde. The three-eyed corpse stepped on the 7 black balls and rushed into the air, then looked up to the sky and let out a long roar. It broke through again. Now, it has grown from the middle stage of level 6 to the late stage of level 6, only 1 step away from level 7. One more. Three-eyed corpse could feel that it only needed 1 more meteorite of this size to directly enter the level 7. Level 7, what a level that corpses yearn for. Once it reaches level 7, three-eyed corpse will be able to eliminate all kinds of mutant beasts entrenched outside Xiong City, as well as the mess of powerful mutant plants. Once it reaches level 7, three-eyed corpse can start conquering the world. My era is coming, three-eyed corpse muttered to himself while flying in the air. Then, three-eyed corpse had a thought. Hutilda. Its feet suddenly left the surface of the 7 black balls. Fly farther. Three-eyed corpse ordered the 7 black balls. The 7 black balls knew that Lin Kong was watching them from a distance, and they wanted to join Lin Kong. However, The 7 black balls held back, and they could only reluctantly obey the orders of Three-Eyed Corpse, and slowly fly a little further away. After the 7 black balls flew away, the Three-Eyed Corpse did not fall from the sky. It was floating in the air. It was as if it was on flat ground. The people and high-level zombies in the distance looked at the Three-Eyed Corpse's godlike flying skills and showed their admiring and fanatical eyes. Just now, they were all in a panic about the meteorite. However, when they saw the powerful Three-Eyed Corpse, everyone seemed to have found a backbone. That's right, it's right to follow this three-eyed guy. It's really too damn strong, it can even float in the air, so awesome. Then, the Three-Eyed Corpse tried to walk 2 steps, but it stumbled and fell from the air. The people and zombies in the distance looked at the Three-Eyed Corpse falling and exclaimed. However, their worries were unnecessary. As a Three-Eyed Corpse, in the late stage of level 6, it is estimated that it will not die even if it falls from a height of 10,000 meters. Besides, its current position is only 50 to 60 meters from the ground. Moreover, when the Three-Eyed Corpse fell halfway, its sturdy figure suddenly stopped in the air. The Three-Eyed Corpse pressed the air with both hands and slowly stood up again. Then, it took steps, like walking upstairs, stepping on the empty air, step by step, and walked upwards. It walked higher and higher, faster and faster. Finally, the Three-Eyed Corpse walked in the air as if it was strolling in the garden. Walk when you want to walk, run when you want to run, sit when you want to sit. The Three-Eyed Corpse also showed a faint joy on his face. If there were not so many spectators watching below, the Three-Eyed Corpse would probably laugh like a pig at this moment, because it was really too damn cool. I didn't do anything, and suddenly 2 big pies fell from the sky. It was really cool, even though it was a zombie, even though its emotional ability was slightly inferior to that of humans. It could still feel a huge sense of joy. Although Three-Eyed Corpse had never reached level 7, he could clearly feel that at level 7, he would be able to fly in the air. Now that Three-Eyed Corpse had entered the late stage of level 6, he could already walk and run in the air. Once he reached level 7, he would definitely be able to fly at high speed, and the speed would definitely not be low, at least reaching the speed of sound propagation. Thinking of this, Three-Eyed Corpse couldn't help but look up at the sky. If another meteorite fell now, then, impossible, I've been lucky twice. How could I continue to be lucky? Just when Three-Eyed Corpse felt that he couldn't be lucky again, Lin Kong, who was in the lounge, actually decided to summon another meteorite. At this moment, the lounge had become a ruin. Lin Kong squatted in the corner of the ruins, and he stared at Three-Eyed Corpse thoughtfully for a while. Although he couldn't see the red energy emitted by the meteorite, he could draw a very simple conclusion. The Three-Eyed Corpse suddenly became stronger after it approached the falling meteorite. Before, it couldn't stay in the air. Now, it can walk in the air. Lin Kong has never had close contact with the Three-Eyed Corpse, and he doesn't know how strong it has become. Lin Kong also doesn't know why the falling meteorite makes the Three-Eyed Corpse stronger. In order to find out the doubts in his heart, Lin Kong activated his superpowers again. He decided to let another meteorite hit the Three-Eyed Corpse. If the meteorite he summoned can really make the Three-Eyed Corpse stronger, then a very bold plan appeared in Lin Kong's mind. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 345, The Third Meteorite. Lin Kong clenched his fists and prayed for a while, hoping that the strength of the Three-Eyed Corpse was really related to the meteorite. Then, he closed his eyes and decisively let his thoughts travel tens of thousands of kilometers to outer space. Come on, control another meteorite to verify my guess. The spiritual energy in Lin Kong's body can only allow him to summon another small meteorite with a diameter of 10 meters. However, this time, Lin Kong's main purpose is neither to kill nor to destroy. He doesn't need to use up his spiritual energy to summon a small meteorite, he just needs to find one. Well, Lin Kong's thoughts found a meteorite with a diameter of half a meter in the vast space. Lin Kong can summon several meteorites with a diameter of half a meter. Still using the same method, Lin Kong controlled the small meteorite to float towards the Earth's atmosphere. Once entering the atmosphere, the small meteorite can accelerate. When the speed is too fast, it will burn because of the heat generated by friction. As the flames burned, the half-meter diameter of the meteorite gradually became 45 centimeters, 40 centimeters, 35 centimeters. In the end, it was only about the size of a basketball. Although Three-Eyed Corpse didn't think it would be lucky again, it couldn't help but look up at the sky. In order to avoid being seen by others as an idiot staring at the sky, Three-Eyed Corpse quietly hid on the rooftop of a tall building. It planned to do nothing but observe the sky, watch it for 3 days and 3 nights first. If a meteorite really falls somewhere else, it can run over in time to absorb the red energy. This is a top priority for its breakthrough. It can't be sloppy. Three-Eyed Corpse stared at the sky with its 3 eyes wide open without blinking. At its level of strength, it would be fine even if it didn't blink for 3 days and 3 nights. Three-Eyed Corpse had already made plans to wait for a long time, but after only waiting for dozens of minutes, he saw a small red dot in the sky, dragging a long red tail, flying diagonally towards this side, like a meteor. Boom 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 boom. Three-Eyed Corpse stepped directly on the air and excitedly ran towards the sky. It was a meteorite, another meteorite. Wow wow wow. My luck is too good. Oh my god. Ho tilde. Three-Eyed Corpse's vocal cords have become almost the same as those of ordinary people since it was upgraded to level 5, and it can speak normally and fluently. At this moment, because of its overly excited emotions, it actually made a strange hoa sound like a zombie. Unlike the excited Three-Eyed Corpse, the people below were all shouting to remind their companions next to them to run away quickly. Oh no. Another meteorite is falling. Damn it, what happened today? Why are meteorites always falling here? Oh, I really want that stone, but I'm afraid of death. Oh, I'd better run. Humans are trying to avoid the falling meteorites, but other high-level zombies want to absorb the red energy of meteorites while being afraid of being killed by them. Anyway, the people and zombies on the ground are in a mess, running in different directions. They don't know where the meteorite will fall. The meteorite falls very fast, and in their field of vision, it is just a small red dot, and they can't judge the size of the meteorite at all. In short, just run. The 400-pound fat man in the football field lounges cleaning up his wet pants. He forced another person to take off his pants and then put them on himself, but he was too fat. Other people's pants couldn't fit on at all. He put them on for a long time. At this time, when he heard the people around him shouting the meteorite is coming again, the 400-jin fat man immediately tore off his pants that he couldn't wear, and ran away with his bare buttocks. What pants are you wearing? It's more important to escape. Looking at the embarrassed look of the 400-jin fat man, Lin Kong couldn't help but reveal a hint of ridicule at the corner of his mouth. The original text is in Liu number 9/. Others don't know the power of this meteorite, but Lin Kong, as the initiator, naturally knows it. This meteorite, which was originally half a meter in diameter, is now only the size of a basketball when it flies down, and basically can't cause much damage. Therefore, Lin Kong didn't control the meteorite wholeheartedly. He opened his eyes. Following the guidance of the forest pterosaur, Lin Kong found the Three-Eyed Corpse above the tall building in the distance. The forest pterosaur has been ambushing in various hidden corners of the gathering place. It had received Lin Kong's orders long ago and kept a close eye on the every move of the Three-Eyed Corpse. After Lin Kong saw the Three-Eyed Corpse, he circulated his spiritual energy into his eyes. Ordinary people's eyes have limited vision. If the distance exceeds 100 meters, they basically cannot see the specific appearance of objects clearly. However, spiritual energy is a good thing. This spiritual energy can not only make the new human body stronger, but also make the eyes of the new human see farther, make the ears hear more clearly, and make the nose smell more sensitive. There are many uses for spiritual energy. Making the eye see farther and more clearly is just the most basic use. For example, Jing, who is the team leader of soldiers, although she is of low level and has rubbish superpowers, her skills in using spiritual energy are very superb. She once hung Lin Kong up and beat him. Lin Kong was almost forced to death in the freezer of the county town, and was almost killed by Jing. Fortunately, all this is over. Now Jing is only half left, and is being kept by Wu Fei, Li Minutes and their group. Lin Kong waited until he was free from the three-eyed corpse. Maybe he could find Jing to learn how to use spiritual energy. Lin Kong collected his mind and focused on the three-eyed corpse. Again, with his eyes full of spiritual energy, he clearly found the face of the three-eyed corpse, revealing an expectant expression. This expectant expression has exposed the three-eyed corpse's thoughts and also verified Lin Kong's guess. Sure enough, the three-eyed corpse really wanted this meteorite very much. After 4 or 5 seconds, bang, the basketball-sized meteorite hit in open space. Lin Kong did not deliberately guide it, so the meteorite did not kill any mutant zombies. Because of its small size, the meteorite only smashed a deep pit about 2 meters wide, and the shockwave it set off did not even blow up a zombie dangling not far away. The damage caused by the basketball-sized meteorite and the medium-sized meteorite is simply a world of difference. The three-eyed corpse discovered that the third meteorite was not as big as it had imagined. Although the three-eyed corpse was somewhat disappointed, it still rushed to the meteorite's crash site at an extremely fast speed. Chapter 346 A Super Bold Plan. This time, three-eyed corpse casually sucked the basketball-sized meteorite into his hand. SHHH. The red-hot meteorite burned three-eyed corpse's skin as soon as it touched his palm. Although three-eyed corpse is a level 6 zombie, its skin still cannot withstand the high temperature on the surface of the meteorite. Of course, the meteorite can't cause any substantial damage to three-eyed corpse. In the last second, the skin on the palm was burned. In the next second, white and tender new skin immediately grew out. Three-eyed corpse took this hot potato and moved it in front of the hoop nose. Then, he sucked it hard. Hiss. Three-eyed corpse not only absorbed all the red energy contained in the meteorite, but also absorbed the high temperature attached to it into his body. The high temperature made the liquid in three-eyed corpse's stomach boil instantly. The pain in the stomach made three-eyed corpse frown, but it didn't care. It was just a high temperature. Even if a grenade was put into the stomach of the three-eyed corpse, it would probably not kill it at level 6. Moreover, the zombie's tolerance for pain was far greater than that of ordinary people. The three-eyed corpse closed its 3 eyes and carefully felt for a while. It found that the mutant spirit core in its brain had indeed grown a little bit larger under the nourishment of the red energy. The previous second medium-sized meteorite allowed the three-eyed corpse to rise from the middle level of level 6 to the late level of level 6. This third small meteorite was only the size of a basketball, and of course it did not have enough energy to promote the three-eyed corpse to level 7. It still needed more meteorites. Thinking of this, the three-eyed corpse could not help but look up at the sky. Its behavior was naturally seen by the forest pterosaur that was secretly observing. Lin Kong was in the ruins of the lounge and could not see the three-eyed corpse flying to the ground in the distance. He could only rely on the power of the forest pterosaur. After the forest pterosaur saw the three-eyed corpse's every move, it immediately told Lin Kong everything through its mind. After Lin Kong learned the information provided by the forest pterosaur, a smug smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Although he could not see the red energy emitted by the meteorite, through the three-eyed corpse's impatient behavior and the action of looking up at the sky immediately after absorbing a meteorite, Lin Kong was already 100% certain that the three-eyed corpse was absolutely very eager for meteorites from outer space. Meteorites for the three-eyed corpse are like travelers in the desert, longing for a bowl of cool and delicious spring water. However, Lin Kong can summon meteorites in large quantities through his superpowers. So, what does this mean? When you have something that others desperately want, you have grasped the lifeblood of others. This means that the weak Lin Kong can make a deal with the powerful three-eyed corpse. What is the deal? Naturally, let the three-eyed corpse deal with the president. According to the information provided by Mirongjing, the president is most likely a new human of the late level 6. He will be promoted to the level 7 realm in 29 days by taking the life of Lin Kong's mother in a cruel way. Coincidentally, the three-eyed corpse is also a level 6 existence. Therefore, Lin Kong's bold plan is to use the meteorite as bait now to persuade the three-eyed corpse to kill the president. The reason why this plan is bold is that Lin Kong is playing with fire. If the three-eyed corpse gets angry accidentally, it is very likely to swallow Lin Kong directly. When the live fire is exposed, Lin Kong will be resurrected and killed all the time. Finally, the energy of the live fire is exhausted, and Lin Kong dies completely. Why don't you bear it for a while, wait until my strength is higher, and then go and discuss this deal with the three-eyed corpse? Lin Kong hesitated. His character has always been cautious. Lin Kong is too weak now. For the level 6, three-eyed corpse, he is just a humble ant. The fingers of the three-eyed corpse only need to exert a little force, and Lin Kong will be turned into slag. Mother Liu Hong will die in 29 days. Theoretically speaking, the weak Lin Kong still has time to grow. The most rational decision should be to wait until he becomes stronger, at least to figure out why the three-eyed corpse can get out of his stomach, at least to have a way to escape the pursuit of the three-eyed corpse. At that time, Lin Kong can use the chips of the meteorite to trade with the three-eyed corpse. Lin Kong wavered. His will at this moment was inclined to grow in a mean way and stabilize the idea of other waves. However, Lin Kong decisively activated the Overlord Flame in his left eye. The red flame instantly spread all over Lin Kong's head. Old Man Qin on the side was hiding in a corner of the lounge. The original text is on Liu number 9 at book/bar. He was originally worried that the world would fall again with terrible meteorites, but suddenly he saw Lin Kong's head, for no reason, on fire. Oh no, there's a fire on your head. As a doctor, Old Man Qin couldn't just ignore Lin Kong's head when he saw it on fire. He rushed to Lin Kong like a conditioned reflex. Unexpectedly, Lin Kong waved his hand casually and said lightly, "Don't worry." Old Man Qin looked at Lin Kong and found that the latter's eyes showed a very firm look. He was originally very worried that Lin Kong's head would be burned. However, when Old Man Qin saw Lin Kong's firm eyes through the red flames, he also calmed down. Lin Kong knew that Old Man Qin cared about him, and nodded to him and said, "Thank you." In this cruel end times, there are not many good people who can care about others. Lin Kong felt that Old Man Qin was a good person, so he said thank you to him. After thanking him, Lin Kong turned around and walked directly in the direction of the three-eyed corpse. His steps were very firm. Without any hesitation, he clenched his fists, determined to convince the three-eyed corpse to help him kill the president no matter what. When Lin Kong wrapped his head with Overlord Flame, the fearless spirit instantly infected him. He was ashamed of his thoughts, because, although his mother Liu Hong still had 29 days to live, she had been enduring the president's perverted experiments. His mother was suffering, but he was still thinking about growing up in a sleazy way and was reluctant to fight. What was the difference between this idea and that of a beast? Lin Kong hated his cautious and timid self. He must rescue his mother who was in dire straits as soon as possible. Absolutely, 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 absolutely can't grow up in a sleazy way. Must fight to the death. Therefore, he decisively activated Overlord Flame, and immediately dispelled his hesitation. As expected of the flame on the Tyrannosaurus Rex, Lin Kong became fearless all of a sudden. Even, Lin Kong had an arrogant idea. Trash. Three-eyed corpse is just a scumbag. This is the side effect of Overlord Flame. Although Overlord Flame can make Lin Kong no longer afraid of any danger, but at the same time, Overlord Flame will also make Lin Kong feel that he is the most powerful in the world. What a level 6, three-eyed corpse. What running in the air, they are just scum. Lin Kong twisted his neck while walking. There was a crackling sound between the bones of his neck. Lin Kong, who was wrapped in Overlord Flame, came up with a more daring plan. How about just let this three-eyed corpse become his little brother? Well, It must be very impressive to have a level 6 zombie as a little brother. Chapter 347 I'm going to reveal my cards. Obviously, when Lin Kong summoned the Overlord Flame in his left eye, he became a little bit arrogant. He even wanted to make the level 6, three-eyed corpse, his younger brother. If Lin Kong was in a normal state, he would never do this. However, Lin Kong was quite excited now, and he wanted the three-eyed corpse to be his younger brother. This would be a very difficult deal. Lin Kong walked to the side of the three-eyed corpse, slowly with a red flame on his head. The other people or zombies around did not dare to approach the three-eyed corpse easily. So, when they saw Lin Kong approaching the three-eyed corpse so boldly, they also opened their eyes wide, curious about what would happen next. Lin Kong raised his chin and said to the three-eyed corpse, in a very frivolous way, "I originally planned to get along with you as an ordinary person, but in return, I was tortured in every way. No more pretending. I summoned this meteorite. I'm going to show my cards." The hook-nosed, three-eyed corpse looked at Lin Kong in front of him with a cold face. As a level 6 zombie, it naturally discovered Lin Kong's arrival very early. Lin Kong's approach surprised the three-eyed corpse. It didn't know where Lin Kong got the courage to approach it rashly. So, the three-eyed corpse used its superpower, human control, to make Lin Kong kneel down. However, Lin Kong didn't react at all. The three-eyed corpse narrowed his eyes and uttered a barely detectable "hm" from his mouth. "Why can't my superpower control him? Is this guy's strength already higher than mine?" "Impossible. Because, if this guy's strength is higher than mine, according to human habits, he will definitely kill me at the first opportunity." However, this guy clearly had no power to resist. Moreover, I checked this guy's strength before, and he was clearly just a new human at level 0. But, why can such a weak chicken resist my superpower? Three-eyed corpse was very confused. When he heard Lin Kong say, "I summoned this meteorite," three-eyed corpse became even more puzzled. It kicked its legs lightly on the ground. Swish! The body of three-eyed corpse was replaced by a residual image, and there was even a sound of breaking through the air in the air. Snap! Three-eyed corpse grabbed Lin Kong's neck like catching a chicken, and then lifted him up in the air. It asked coldly, "Why can't I control you? Are you pretending just now?" Although Lin Kong's neck was also covered with red Overlord Flame, it could not hurt the three-eyed corpse at all. The difference in strength between the two is really too big. One is a new human who has just been promoted to level 1, and the other is a high-level zombie who has reached the late stage of level 6. The difference between the two is like dust and a mountain. But now, Lin Kong, a mere dust, is not afraid of the mountain of three-eyed corpse, let alone the level 6, three-eyed corpse. Lin Kong, who has activated Overlord Flame, no longer takes anyone seriously. Even if there is a nuclear bomb about to explode in front of him, Lin Kong probably won't be afraid. The Overlord Flame of the Tyrannosaurus Rex is so a newborn calf is not afraid of a tiger, so fearless. Lin Kong didn't dare to withdraw the Overlord Flame. He was worried that he would be intimidated by the majesty of the three-eyed corpse. Once he was afraid, Lin Kong would definitely lose the next negotiation. There was no other way. Lin Kong could only face the powerful three-eyed corpse with the Overlord Flame. Lin Kong had already given the forest pterosaur a death order, and he must stay far away honestly, and must not participate in this negotiation, let alone make any move to attack the three-eyed corpse. The fire of life in the right eye has quietly enveloped the entire brain. In this way, the three-eyed corpse cannot control Lin Kong through superpowers. Everything is ready. Facing the question of the three-eyed corpse, Lin Kong naturally has no need to hide it. The corners of his mouth curl up with disdain. "Yes, you guessed it right. I was just pretending. With your rubbish superpower, it is impossible to control me." Everyone saw Lin Kong being caught by the three-eyed corpse, and thought then Lin Kong would be scared and cry and beg for mercy. Unexpectedly, Lin Kong did not beg for mercy and said that the superpower of the three-eyed corpse was rubbish. Old Man Kin in the distance was also shocked when he heard Lin Kong's shameless words. He didn't understand that although Lin Kong's combat power was higher than that of ordinary new humans, he, with a combat power of 360, could never be the opponent of the level 6, three-eyed corpse. Originally, seeing Lin Kong's forbearing and cowardly character, Old Man Keen thought that Lin Kong would be a local hero in the future. But who could have thought that Lin Kong would go and insult the three-eyed corpse at this time? This is like lighting a light in the toilet. It's courting death. Shit. Of course, Old Man Keen didn't dare to run up to persuade the three-eyed corpse, or anything. Lin Kong didn't want to live, but Old Man Keen wanted to continue to live. Not only was Old Man Keen puzzled, but Zhu Linian, who was also with a group of mutant beasts, was also quite speechless. She originally came to catch Lin Kong, and then hang him up and torture him. However, she was surprised to find that this strong man who could fly in the air was actually a zombie through the red light emitted from the eyes of the three-eyed corpse. She thought that the three-eyed corpse was also an ordinary dog, and was about to ask it to find Lin Kong. Fortunately, she didn't get close to this three-eyed corpse. Zhu Linian knew that her charm would only work on male beasts and humans. When male zombies saw her, they would not only not be fascinated by her, but would also rush to eat her. Zhu Linian had just seen the scene of the three-eyed corpse running in the air. Even if her IQ was low, she could naturally understand how powerful the three-eyed corpse was. There was no other way. Zhu Linian could only decide to slip away. That hateful Lin Kong could only be kept until later, waiting for the right opportunity to kill him. Zhu Linian was about to turn around and leave. However, through the ant corpses on Lin Kong's trouser legs, Zhu Linian sensed that Lin Kong was approaching the three-eyed corpse. Not only did Lin Kong approach the three-eyed corpse, he even insulted the three-eyed corpse. Seeing this scene, Zhu Linian secretly thought it was not good. She had kept Lin Kong's life for the time being, waiting to torture him slowly in the future, but now Lin Kong was definitely going to be eaten by the three-eyed corpse. Alas, I can't take revenge. It's really hateful. This brainless guy, why did he have to provoke the powerful three-eyed corpse, when there were so many other people to provoke? Didn't this brainless guy see that three-eyed corpse could fly in the air just now? Zhu Linian really hated Lin Kong. If three-eyed corpse ate Lin Kong, Zhu Linian would not be able to torture Lin Kong anymore. Zhu Linian felt very sorry. She originally wanted to leave this place quickly. However, Lin Kong would be eaten next. Although Zhu Linian could not torture Lin Kong personally, being able to see the scene of Lin Kong being eaten with her own eyes at least made up for some of the regrets in her heart. So, Zhu Linian squatted down and quietly observed the situation over there. It was wrong to say that her behavior was definitely a brain-dead behavior. She knew that her attraction to zombies was fatal, but she still stayed here and wanted to see how Lin Kong was eaten. Assuming that Lin Kong was eaten, then the second person that three-eyed corpse wanted to eat would definitely be Zhu Linian. If Zhu Linian doesn't take the opportunity to escape now, then she can forget about running away. With the help of a gecko, she finally resurrected. But unfortunately, she is destined to be in trouble again today. Let's not talk about Zhu Linian, this guy with a hole in his brain. Let's continue to switch the perspective to the three-eyed corpse. Hearing Lin Kong laugh at his ability being rubbish, the three-eyed corpse naturally became angry. However, it did not show it on its face. The original text is available at Liu number 9 at book/bar. Three-eyed corpse still looks as cold as an iceberg. Boy, I admit that your flame is very strange, but you are a little too arrogant. Three-eyed corpse grabbed Lin Kong at this moment, and naturally circulated his spiritual energy to roughly explore the situation in Lin Kong's body. Obviously, Lin Kong's spirit of ignoring everything should come from the flame on his head. Moreover, there is a special energy protecting his brain. That should be the thing that prevents my superpowers. The three-eyed corpse could only detect the amount of spiritual energy in Lin Kong's body, and could not determine Lin Kong's superpowers. Therefore, it thought that Lin Kong's superpower was the Overlord Flame, burning on his head. It also thought that the reason why Lin Kong was immune to its control was entirely due to the other party's superpowers. In the eyes of the three-eyed corpse, Lin Kong's superpowers were indeed good. However, no matter how powerful the superpowers were, it was useless. This guy's strength was too low. Therefore, the three-eyed corpse was still very puzzled. It didn't know why Lin Kong ran to him to die. Could it be that this guy's superpowers not only emit flames and are immune to his control, but can also really summon meteorites? How is this possible? Summoning meteorites from outer space is simply a means like a god. How could this guy do it? Thinking of this, the three-eyed corpse increased the strength in his hands. Lin Kong directly vomited blood with a puff. The blood vessels on his neck bulged, and his eyeballs were immediately filled with bloodshot. Seeing Lin Kong in such a state of embarrassment, the three-eyed corpse slowly asked, "You just said you can summon meteorites, right?" Yes. Even though his neck was almost crushed, Lin Kong still showed no fear. Facing the three-eyed corpse's question, Lin Kong's answer was neither humble nor arrogant. The three-eyed corpse looked at Lin Kong's calm expression, and his heart moved slightly. No way could this mere first-level new human really summon a meteorite. Although the three-eyed corpse didn't believe Lin Kong, it still said in a commanding tone, "Then summon one and try." Lin Kong was naturally prepared. He smiled triumphantly. "Don't worry, let the meteorite fly for a while. It takes time for a meteorite to float from outer space to the Earth's atmosphere, and then fall from the atmosphere to the ground." Although Lin Kong summoned the meteorite several minutes in advance, it still takes another 2 or 3 minutes for the meteorite to be seen by the people on the ground. The three-eyed corpse looked at Lin Kong's confident expression, and it had to wait half-believingly. If Lin Kong had said something else, the three-eyed corpse would definitely not waste time waiting. However, the meteorite from outer space, this thing, is very, very important to it. Even if the possibility is very small, the three-eyed corpse is willing to wait for a moment. Just when the three-eyed corpse was getting impatient, a flash of red light was falling rapidly, like a meteor, dragging a long red tail. The three-eyed corpse suddenly widened his eyes. Surprisingly, there is really a meteorite. This is too incredible. The three-eyed corpse was filled with shock and surprise. However, because he was holding Lin Kong's neck in his hand, the three-eyed corpse did not show his excitement. 4 or 5 seconds later, bang, the meteorite fell down. When the meteorite fell, the whoosh sound of it cutting through the air was heard by everyone. Three-eyed corpse kept staring at the meteorite. Red energy. There was also red energy on this meteorite. This showed that Lin Kong did not just use a stone to fool him. This was indeed a real meteorite from outer space. If Lin Kong could really summon meteorites, then he would be able to provide a steady supply of meteorites. In this way, wouldn't he be able to level up as many times as he wanted? Three-eyed corpse could no longer suppress his excitement. He dropped Lin Kong and rushed towards the meteorite not far away. However, this meteorite was only the size of a fist. He thought that the third basketball-sized meteorite was small enough, but he didn't expect that the fourth meteorite was even smaller. Adhering to the principle of no matter how small a mosquito leg is, it is still meat, Three-eyed corpse looked indifferent on the surface, but in fact, he was very excited inside and grabbed the fist-sized meteorite, and then quickly sucked up all the red energy on it. Then, Three-eyed corpse took the fourth meteorite and ran back to Lin Kong. This time, it did not grab Lin Kong's neck. The three-eyed corpse was not overwhelmed by the joy in its heart. With its quick thinking, it quickly found a loophole. It stared into Lin Kong's eyes and questioned in an orderly manner. Just one meteorite is not enough to prove that you can summon meteorites. It is very likely that you just predicted it. You just predicted the time when the meteorite would fall, and then came to lie to me. If Lin Kong could summon meteorites, then his value would undoubtedly be extremely great. But if Lin Kong could only predict the fall of meteorites, then his value would be much lower, because it is impossible for many meteorites to fall from the sky for no reason. The three-eyed corpse would not be able to upgrade as many levels as it wants. Its dream of dominating the world and enslaving all mankind would not be realized. Facing the doubts of the three-eyed corpse, Lin Kong said calmly, "Oh, I didn't expect that a zombie like you has a pretty good brain. It's really easy to prove my ability. How about this? You can tell me how big you want the meteorite to be and where you want it to land. I will summon a customized meteorite according to your requirements. The three-eyed corpse thought it made sense. So, he proposed a meteorite with a diameter of 1,000 meters. Chapter 348. I'm the boss now. You're out of your mind, aren't you? You actually brought up such a big meteorite, 1,000 meters in diameter? You're dreaming. Lin Kong insulted the three-eyed corpse without any hesitation. The three-eyed corpse was stunned by the scolding. It really wanted to swallow Lin Kong in one gulp, but it secretly clenched its fists and held back. The people who were watching the show from a distance all whispered to each other, "FCK, this guy is scolding Lord Three Eyes again." If I were facing a level 6 zombie, I'm afraid I wouldn't even have the courage to look up and look directly at it. But this guy doesn't take the level 6 zombie seriously at all. I admire you. This guy is the most arrogant level 1 new human I have ever seen. No doubt about it. Am I the only one who thinks that this guy with fire on his head is handsome? You're not the only one. There's me. I also think he's very handsome. The three-eyed corpse has excellent hearing. Although the voices of the people in the distance were very low, it still heard them clearly. But there was no way. Even though Lin Kong was so arrogant and didn't take it seriously, three-eyed corpse couldn't eat him in one bite. After a pause, three-eyed corpse decided to say the size of the meteorite was smaller. How about this? You summon a meteorite with a diameter of 500 meters and hit the TV tower in front. Just now I praised your quick mind. Why doesn't it work now? Lin Kong put his hands on his waist and said with disgust. Three-eyed corpse naturally understood that he had said the size of the meteorite was too big again. Finally, after some discussion, three-eyed corpse finally reduced the size of the meteorite to the size of a basketball. The falling position was set in a flower bed 50 meters ahead. This position was randomly set by three-eyed corpse, and Lin Kong couldn't know it in advance. If the next meteorite can really hit that flower bed, then it can prove Lin Kong's superpowers. However, after a serious discussion just now, three-eyed corpse almost believed in Lin Kong's ability, because Lin Kong couldn't fool him with such a thing. If he dared to lie, then the three-eyed corpse would decisively bite off his head. Then, Lin Kong activated his superpower, summon meteorites. With its powerful perception, the three-eyed corpse naturally discovered the abnormality in Lin Kong's head. It felt that there was indeed an unusual special fluctuation emanating from Lin Kong's brain. The speed of this fluctuation was so fast that even the three-eyed corpse couldn't figure out the specific content inside. Unable to help, the three-eyed corpse's pupils shrank. This level 1 ant seems to have a higher level of superpowers than mine. According to the rating of human cultivation experts, the three-eyed corpse's superpower, human control, should be rated at SS level. And for this level 1 ant, the three-eyed corpse guessed that his superpower should be the most powerful SSS level. Thinking of this, the three-eyed corpse became more excited, because only super abnormal skills rated at SSS level can summon meteorites from outer space. Thinking of the meteorite, the three-eyed corpse couldn't wait, and asked, "How long will it take?" Lin Kong opened his eyes. This kind of meteorite with a diameter of half a meter will become the size of a basketball when it falls. Even with such a small meteorite, Lin Kong can still easily control the falling trajectory of the meteorite even with his eyes open. He said impatiently, "Why are you in such a hurry? Let me calculate." Although Lin Kong looked impatient, he still estimated in his mind. Based on the experience of summoning the meteorite just now, Lin Kong quickly came to a conclusion. About 7 or 8 minutes. Although he knew that the meteorite could not fall immediately for the time being. However, the three-eyed corpse still couldn't help looking up at the sky, wanting to see if he could see the location of the meteorite. This urgent mood naturally fell into Lin Kong's eyes. Lin Kong did not give up thinking. He looked at the three-eyed corpse's expectant expression, and his heart was a little more settled for the next plan. After thinking for a while, Lin Kong patted the shoulder of the three-eyed corpse. "Let's not wait any longer. Let me serve you a dessert." "Dessert? Look, That woman. In the puzzled eyes of the three-eyed corpse, Lin Kong stretched out his finger and pointed to a stone 300 meters away. On top of the stone, a beautiful woman's head poked out. The original text is available at 6 number 9 at books/bar. The three-eyed corpse took a closer look and found that this beauty was the fragrant female human that it wanted to eat but didn't eat before. Yes, the dessert that Lin Kong mentioned was naturally Zhu Linyun. There were so many humans around, and under normal circumstances, it was almost impossible for Lin Kong to discover the existence of Zhu Linyun. But, who said that the fragrance of Zhu Linyun could float 10 miles away? It didn't take long for Lin Kong to smell the tempting fragrance in the air. This fragrance made Lin Kong's mind ripple. It was really good. He immediately understood the owner of this familiar smell. Could it be Zhu Linyun? When Lin Kong first came to this conclusion, he was very shocked, because Zhu Linyun's head had been chopped off. After the head was chopped off, he couldn't even turn into a zombie. Why is Zhu Linyun still alive? Because the new humans in this doomsday have all kinds of strange superpowers. Although it is very difficult to come back to life, it is not impossible. For example, Lin Kong himself resurrected. So, Lin Kong asked the forest pterosaur to follow the direction of the fragrance and search. As a level 4 mutant beast, the forest pterosaur has an extremely sensitive sense of smell. Coupled with the uniqueness of Zhu Linyun's fragrance, it didn't take long for the forest pterosaur to find the living Zhu Linyun. Lin Kong, who was in front of the three-eyed corpse, looked at Zhu Linyun from a distance and immediately retracted his gaze. At the same time, he held his breath to prevent himself from continuing to inhale the unique fragrance that contained fatal temptation. For every man, Zhu Linyun is a big disaster. Lin Kong knew that she was a beautiful femme fatale, and it was no coincidence that she happened to appear nearby. I guess this woman is here to seek revenge on me. I can't keep her. Lin Kong made a decisive decision. Therefore, Lin Kong immediately instigated three-eyed corpse to eat Zhu Linyun. Three-eyed corpse looked at Zhu Linyun, then looked at the sky, and found that the meteorite was not falling so soon. In its view, the meteorite from outer space is a real meal. Zhu Linyun is just a dessert that can't fill its stomach. However, since Lin Kong has spoken, three-eyed corpse has no choice but to eat Zhu Linyun's dessert first. So, step. Three-eyed corpse jumped onto the 7 black balls and was about to fly to Zhu Linyun's side. It instructed the 7 black balls to take off, but the 7 black balls didn't listen to three-eyed corpse at all, and it stopped where it was and didn't move. At this time, Lin Kong, who was standing by, scolded the three-eyed corpse rudely. "What are you doing? You still want to sit on my 7 black balls?" Three Eyes, are you confused? I am the boss now. Chapter 349. Zhu Linyun is about to be eaten. At the beginning, three-eyed corpse asked for a meteorite with a diameter of 1,000 meters, and was scolded by Lin Kong as having a hole in his brain. Now, three-eyed corpse just wanted to ride the 7 black balls to catch the fragrant woman to eat, but was scolded by Lin Kong as having water in his brain. Auntie can tolerate it, but uncle can't tolerate it either. Swish. Three-eyed corpse's body turned into a residual image, rushed directly in front of Lin Kong, and grabbed Lin Kong's neck. Grip. Lin Kong, a mere first-level new human, naturally couldn't withstand the huge power of three-eyed corpse. He saw stars, stretched out his tongue, and spit out blood. Even so, there was no fear on Lin Kong's face. On the contrary, he stammered and provoked, Three Eyes, if you have the guts, kill me." Because of being strangled by the neck, Lin Kong's voice was not very loud. Zhu Linyun, who was 300 meters away, couldn't hear Lin Kong's provocation at all, and thought Lin Kong was begging for mercy. She stared at Lin Kong intently. She was expecting Lin Kong to be swallowed by the angry three-eyed corpse. However, what puzzled Zhu Linyun was that the three-eyed corpse gnashed its teeth for a while, and finally let go of Lin Kong. Then, what puzzled Zhu Linyun even more was that the three-eyed corpse suddenly turned into a residual shadow and left Lin Kong quickly. What was going on? Wasn't this zombie level 6? Wasn't it very strong? Couldn't it kill Lin Kong easily? Why didn't it eat Lin Kong when Lin Kong repeatedly insulted it? As a human, Zhu Linian naturally couldn't see the red energy emitted from the meteorite. Her brain was not working well, so she couldn't guess the importance of the meteorite to the three-eyed corpse. Just as Zhu Linian was puzzled, she suddenly discovered a very scary situation. Damn, that three-eyed zombie seems to be coming towards me. After Zhu Linian discovered this situation, she wanted to escape, but just as she stood up and before she had time to turn around, the three-eyed corpse stopped in front of her. So fast, such a fast and terrifying speed. I am no match for this zombie. Zhu Linian looked up and saw the bloodthirsty light in the eyes of the three-eyed corpse. Again, suddenly, an extremely dangerous warning rose in her mind. Run, run. I can't beat it, I will be eaten. At this moment, Zhu Linian finally felt the horror of the zombies. She wanted to escape, but the reality was that her beautiful white neck had been caught by the three-eyed corpse. The corners of the three-eyed corpse's mouth showed a trace of joy. Well, the neck feels good. This female human smells so good. It must be delicious. When being caught by the three-eyed corpse, Zhu Linian wanted to resist, but her body froze. She despairingly found that she didn't even have the courage to resist. However, Lin Kong was only a level 1 new human. He had no fear when facing the three-eyed corpse, and he could even insult the three-eyed corpse arrogantly. Zhu Linian felt incredible. How did that guy do it? The three-eyed corpse was so powerful that I couldn't even muster the courage to resist. Why could that guy be so calm? We were both being strangled by the three-eyed corpse, but why was the gap between him and me so big? At this moment, Zhu Linian was both terrified and shocked. She was naturally terrified of the three-eyed corpse with its sharp teeth, and she was shocked by Lin Kong. From the first time she met Lin Kong, Zhu Linian was shocked by Lin Kong's calmness. At that time, all the men around her showed a flattering smile to her, but Lin Kong was the only one who frowned slightly. Not only did he not flatter her, but he also looked like he disliked her. The second shock to Zhu Linian was that when Lin Kong attacked her, he actually crippled her with one punch. That decisive and sinister punch made Zhu Linian discover Lin Kong's cunning and deep calculation. Zhu Linian's third shock was naturally now. What kind of man is this Lin Kong? Why is he immune to her beauty, bold and careful, and not afraid of the powerful, three-eyed corpse, like a mountain? Looking at the cold and sharp teeth in the mouth of the three-eyed corpse, Zhu Linian felt desperate. She closed her big eyes. At this moment, Zhu Linian regretted it very much. Why did she have to stay here and watch Lin Kong being eaten with her own eyes? Now, not only will the hateful Lin Kong not be eaten, but she will be eaten by the three-eyed corpse. What she regretted even more was that she should not have provoked this Lin Kong in the first place. At that time, she should have directly taken back the tornado pterosaur and let Lin Kong go. She regretted it very much, but what's the use? She understood the preferences of zombies. For zombies, brains are the most delicious thing. Therefore, the three-eyed corpse in front of me will definitely eat my brain. The original text is available at 6:9. In that case, even if I obtain the ability of the gecko, regeneration of broken tail, I will not be able to revive. As long as the brain is gone, everything is over. A drop of crystal tear quietly slid down from the corner of her eye. She doesn't want to die yet, but it seems that her fate has been determined. Zhu Linian could feel that her body was being lifted up by the three-eyed corpse, and her head was leaning forward, as if it was about to be swallowed by the bloody mouth of the three-eyed corpse. But, a second later, the imagined death did not come. Hutilda. The sound of air whistling came from her ears. Zhu Linian mustered up the courage and opened his desperate eyes, but he unexpectedly found that the three-eyed corpse did not hit his head immediately. What came into view was a familiar figure. It was Lin Kong, who he had been thinking about killing. Lin Kong did not look directly at Zhu Linian, because Zhu Linian was so beautiful that he was afraid that he would fall for her beauty. Zhu Linian looked at Lin Kong like this and thought that he was disgusted with him again. Lin Kong waved his hand and urged the three-eyed corpse, "Why did you bring her here? Eat her quickly." Zhu Linian was scared again when he heard Lin Kong's urging. However, the three-eyed corpse touched his stomach and said, This delicious dessert will be saved for later. Now I have to save my stomach for a big meal. The red energy and the meteorite will also give the three-eyed corpse a strong sense of fullness. Therefore, the three-eyed corpse did not intend to eat Zhu Linian immediately. Although Lin Kong's live fire can resist the superpowers of the three-eyed corpse, it cannot resist the temptation of Zhu Linian's beauty. Perhaps, in the eyes of the live fire, the human desire to reproduce should be a harmless impulse. Therefore, the fire of life could not overcome the primitive impulse between men and women. Since the fire of life could not resist, in order to prevent himself from being confused by Zhu Linian, Lin Kong could only urge the three-eyed corpse, again, 3 eyes, eat her quickly. If you don't eat her, I won't summon meteorites for you. Seeing Lin Kong's anxious look, the quick-witted, three-eyed corpse naturally couldn't move his mouth in a hurry, and Zhu Linian, looking at the relationship between Lin Kong and the three-eyed corpse, a rare flash of inspiration came to her mind. She came up with an excellent idea. This method is like a ray of dazzling hope in the haze of death. This method is, beg Lin Kong for mercy. Chapter 350. The ninth kill with one punch. Crystal clear tears burst out. Zhu Linian begged Lin Kong pitifully with tears in her eyes, "Little brother, save me, please save me." At this moment, Zhu Linian no longer treated Lin Kong as a dog. At this moment, Lin Kong was her boat in the turbulent river. If a normal man saw Zhu Linian's pitiful appearance, he would definitely get lost and risk his life to save Zhu Linian. According to Yi Xiaogo's experience, Lin Kong was also a very normal man. He naturally couldn't stand Zhu Linian's pitiful appearance, and a strong desire to protect him rose in his heart. Lin Kong, who originally wanted to get rid of Zhu Linian, instantly changed his mind. No matter what, Zhu Linian must not be hurt. However, Lin Kong had a backup plan. The first second after discovering Zhu Linian, Lin Kong had already come up with a strategy to deal with it. Therefore, when he found that he had the desire to protect Zhu Linian in his heart, he stretched out his hand and snapped his fingers. The 7 black balls on the side immediately changed into 2 hands. One hand quickly covered Lin Kong's eyes, and the other hand grabbed an iron rod and poked Lin Kong's stomach directly. Puff! The iron rod poked a hole in the stomach. Because Lin Kong had been holding his breath before, he did not inhale any fragrance from Zhu Linian. Therefore, the intense pain instantly made Lin Kong regain consciousness. Using severe pain to awaken his consciousness was Lin Kong's backup plan. The snap of Lin Kong's fingers just now was the signal for the 7 black balls to take action. The 7 black balls are a sphere similar to jelly, and it can be transformed at will. It is really easy to use part of the body to transform into 2 hands. Previously, Lin Kong only used the 7 black balls superpower, 7 black freeze, to freeze people. This was the first time he let the 7 black balls use the transformation technique. In terms of actual effect, the hands transformed by the 7 black balls were very accurate and sensitive, and it could poke the stomach just by poking the stomach. Lin Kong, who regained consciousness, closed his eyes tightly, and pulled out the iron rod in his stomach without saying a word. Blood gushed out of his stomach, and the severe pain hit Lin Kong's mind fiercely. However, Lin Kong did not hesitate. He grabbed Zhu Linian's head directly. The sharpened iron rod went straight to Zhu Linian's eyes. Zhu Linian opened her eyes that fascinated all men in the world, and there was an incredible look in her eyes. The tip of the iron rod quickly enlarged in Zhu Linian's field of vision. Zhu Linian wanted to turn her head away. She also wanted to grab Lin Kong's iron rod with her hands. However, her neck was firmly grasped by the three-eyed corpse. The spiritual energy in her body could not be mobilized at all under the pressure of the level 6 zombie. In short, facing this deadly iron rod stained with blood, Zhu Linian despairingly found that she could not stop it at all, nor could she dodge it. Puff! Blood splattered. The iron rod entered from the eye socket, pierced the brain, and stabbed out from the back of the head. Along with the death of the brain, Zhu Linian's other eye instantly lost the color of life. Under normal circumstances, as a level 1 new human, Lin Kong would never be able to stab Zhu Linian to death with an iron rod. But now Zhu Linian was firmly controlled by the three-eyed corpse, so Lin Kong could easily succeed. After stabbing, Lin Kong still circulated his spiritual energy to the iron rod. Then, he pulled it hard. As a result, Zhu Linian's beautiful head was directly torn from the inside by the iron rod. Lin Kong dared to open his eyes and look at Zhu Linian. Zhu Linian, who had lost a large piece of skull, still looked attractive. Lin Kong's heart was pounding. However, since he had lost a large piece of cheek, Zhu Linian's beauty would not make Lin Kong fall directly. Therefore, Lin Kong could still stay awake. Clenched his fist. The white light of spiritual energy attached to it. Lin Kong punched Zhu Linian's lifeless head without hesitation. Zhu Linian was not a zombie. Her skull was not protected by spiritual energy and was not very hard. With a loud bang, Lin Kong delivered a heavy punch without any fancy moves. Zhu Linian's head exploded like a watermelon thrown from a building. The original text can be read on the U9 / Now, Lin Kong would no longer be affected by Zhu Linian's beauty. He could finally breathe in peace. When Zhu Linian was shot in the head, the three-eyed corpse was splashed with blood. Hoo-la-la! The three-eyed corpse used spiritual energy and shook it hard. All the blood on its body was immediately shaken to the ground. Then, the three-eyed corpse casually threw Zhu Linian's body to a group of zombie spectators not far away. Of course, these zombies could also smell the fragrance of Zhu Linian, and they also wanted to eat this fragrant human. Ho-ho tilde. It's time for a feast. Ho-ho tilde. Dozens of high-level zombies rushed forward and ate Zhu Linian's fragrant body directly. Zhu Linian originally had an army of wild beasts, but with the level 6, three-eyed zombie, here, which blind beast would dare to rush up to protect Zhu Linian? Zhu Linian was also caught off guard. She was finally resurrected. But before she could live for half a day, she was killed by Lin Kong again, and this time, Zhu Linian's brain was blown up, and her body was eaten by zombies. This time, there was no mutant gecko to risk its life to save her. She could never be resurrected again. Zhu Linian felt that all men in this world were lickers, but in the end, her life was ended by a licker. On the ground were fragments of Zhu Linian's head. Lin Kong covered his bleeding stomach and stomped on one of Zhu Linian's eyes. Your brain has been blown up. I don't believe you can be resurrected. If there was no level 6, three-eyed corpse, Zhu Linian, who had a peerless appearance, would be the most difficult enemy Lin Kong had ever encountered. At this moment, Lin Kong finally killed him completely. With this lesson, Lin Kong decided to completely blow up the enemy's head in the future. Three-eyed corpse saw Lin Kong's bleeding stomach and pretended to be concerned and asked, "Do you want someone to treat you?" Three-eyed corpse certainly didn't care about Lin Kong's life or death. What it really cared about was the meteorite from outer space that could make it upgrade and become stronger. Once Lin Kong was in danger of his life, it was very likely that his hope of being promoted to level 7 would be shattered. Lin Kong naturally understood the thoughts of three-eyed corpse. If an ordinary person was pierced through the stomach by an iron rod, he would definitely die quickly. However, Lin Kong was a level 1 new human, and his body's recovery ability had been strengthened to a certain extent. The penetrating wound in the abdomen would only cause him to bleed profusely, but would not kill him immediately. He roughly estimated in his mind that he still had at least half an hour before he died from excessive blood loss. However, Lin Kong looked like he didn't care about his life or death at all. He waved his hand and said lightly, "No need, it's just a minor injury." By the way, the meteorite is about to fall. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.